Alright guys, so let's get going, and this is week 8, and your quiz is coming up fast as well. A very horrible quiz is coming your way. So let's get going. Admit. So what we were doing was you should all be on this screen. Server 1 is I'll just log in from server 1, and so last time I asked that everyone just right click and power and suspend guest last time. So this means that when you unsuspend the guest, it should open on this screen where we are logged into the vCenter, right? If you are if you are not logged into the vCenter, so suppose last time you did not suspend, maybe you shut down. So when you start from shutdown, then it takes a long time, or it takes like 10 minutes just to for the vCenter services to start in the background. So the vCenter has to be, uh, you know, if it is unsuspended, then it will be exactly here. Otherwise, if it is suspended, it was shut down, then when you're starting, so it will give it 10 minutes on the login screen, or when you log in. After that, don't do anything and give it 10 minutes, and then try to go to browser, and then what's the URL for connecting to the vCenter client. So this is the URL, which that's it, which. So https://server02, whatever your server name is, and then whatever the domain name is, humber.local, and then slash vsphere-client. So dot humber.local slash vsphere-client. So this is the URL in case it is not open for you, but that's the URL here for the vCenter, for the vCenter web client. Okay, so we have been able to deploy the vCenter in last class, the class that happened. We need to go ahead and try to create the whole environment here now. But for that, in order to create the whole environment, properly configure everything, we need to have our hypervisors started as well. But don't start now, because we have given a lot of RAM to server 2. So we're going to reduce that RAM back, and then we're going to restart the vCenter. And then when the RAM is reduced back, then we're going to start. So first of all, just an idea about what's going on here. So here we have 4 machines, and the configurations that we have already there. So we're going to so that's the server 01. So server 01, and that has 80 DNS DHCP, and now it's gonna have software send that we will install and configure, because the vCenter is there now. And the other one, server 2, which is a member server of the domain, but it has it has Vcenter 6.4 for Windows 6.5 now, right? And then we have ESXi01 with which is just a hypervisor, and then we have ESXi02. So there, now since we have vCenter, so this means that the vCenter, which is a central enterprise grade application that handles pretty much everything for this whole virtual environment. So vCenter needs to know that how many hypervisors are there. So this means the hypervisors one by one have to be joined to the vCenter. Now if I say vCenter domain, so it looks like as if the Windows machines are being joined to the Active Directory. But we did create within vCenter, VMware vCenter, we did create a domain called vSphere .local. And what was the class password for vCenter? Shahabuddin is asking. It was small abc capital ABC shift 123. This is a class password, Shahabuddin. I just put it there. So the vCenter needs to know about the whole environment. vCenter needs to know about the software SAN that we are about to create and the hypervisors that we already have. These hypervisors need to be introduced to the vCenter. Now we need to check that what is the RAM of oh, okay, so it was 123 as well. Oh, for the vCenter, okay, yeah, not for the rest of the stuff. So yes, it is extra 123 as well. So here, guys, when you're logging in from vCenter, you have to go for the long password there, and Shahabuddin has put it there, right? Put is a new word that I just came up with, or put it there. So okay, so right now our server 2 has a vCenter. Okay, our ESXi1, ESXi2 are shut down. Hopefully, yes. Because I asked last time for them to be shut down, and why they should be still shut down, because majority of the RAM is given to server 2, and if you start ESXi1, ESXi2 now, then it will be a problemo. So yeah, so Badr is saying that he's putting the client there and he cannot access. So Badr, did you put that HTTPS? Oops. Oh, why did I come here again? Okay. Oop. Shahab, no, it's not root. It's oh, okay. So guys, how to log into vCenter, and then there are some vCenter related issues as well that are going on. First of all, Badr, you can just check that whatever your server name for server 2 is, and domain name /vsphere-client, check the spellings of that. Second thing, what is the username? Username, password, username equals administrator. This is for vCenter. So for vCenter, so the username is administrator@vsphere.local, and the password is this. So please write it down somewhere. Small shift 123 and without shift 123. So this is for vCenter. If you want to log in, it's administrator@vsphere.local, and the password is this. So make sure you save it somewhere. And okay, so there are some issues going on. So Khalid is saying SSO error, cannot connect to the VMware component manager, and okay, I'm getting the same error. Madhuri says can't log in. So Ruben says getting the same error. So so guys, did you unsuspended the machine, or did you shut down and start? Those who are getting the error. I found restarting the service may solve this problem. I restarted the service now. Okay, Khalid says restarting the service. Okay, Ruben says suspended. Madhuri says shut down. Okay, so shut down. After shutdown, when we restart, so just look at this statement. When we shut down, so last class maybe maybe you were not paying attention, I guess. I was saying suspend the machine, but I guess you shut down the machine. Those who shut down the machine now, when we shut down Vcenter VM, then after starting, wait 10 minutes for the Vcenter services to start fully, and then open browser. So Vcenter is a heavy machine, right? So it's gonna take in our small RAM a lot of time to get its services started. So for the Vcenter services to start fully, and then open browser and type the URL, which is this URL. Now Khalid is also saying that restart, and then so go ahead guys, those who are getting the error, you can restart, but then you have to wait for these instructions, what I'm typing here now, right? So that is when we shut down Vcenter VM, then after starting, wait 10 minutes for the Vcenter services to start fully, and then open browser and type the URL, right? So it takes longer time to start the Vcenter services, or much longer time to restart the Vcenter services. So, and one more instruction about vCenter. At the end of the class, please suspend server 2, as it has vCenter application, right? And which is which is RAM consuming software or application, right? So if you suspend and unsuspend, then services will stay started. If you shut down and start, then all the services will start, and that will take a long time, like 10 minutes, as it's mentioned here, and wait 10 minutes, right? So that's how it is. So next time, or from today till the end of the course, whenever you stop the machine, just make sure that you suspend the machine. And second thing is, if you shut down and then start, then wait for 10 minutes. So those who are restarting now, then you have to follow this. I'll just put that here as well. In these instructions are for the Vcenter machine only. Okay, so what's on the chat here? My VM was shut down. I want now it working fine. Okay, so Brahim says it's working fine. I am restarting only Vcenter services. Okay, that's good. In prod environment, what's the RAM usually given for Vcenter machines? So in production environment, normally it is 32 GB or 64 GB RAM given just to this machine, not divided among all machines, even if it's 32 GB RAM. So it's quite a lot of RAM we need to give to just the Vcenter. So that's why now we're all gonna see that it's gonna be slow, but the only thing is the starting and stopping, or suspending or unsuspending. That's what we need to know. We go through this experience, and then we get to know that okay, so this is how it's gonna be. The Vcenter is really big application and really requires a lot of RAM, right? So okay guys, so while you guys are just trying to start, I'll explain the whole environment as well, but just make sure that you're restarting. After that, you're waiting for 5 or 10 minutes there. Suppose you do not wait for 5 or 10 minutes, and you try to connect to so you restart the machine, and then you restart the machine, and then you try to put that web link right after logging in, right? So there will be two errors that will have the wording of, there's a 543 error that will come. 543 error, it just means that what it means is, it's not going to say that. It means that wait for the Vcenter background services to start. There will be another error or a message that has the wording initializing, right? So if that wording is there, this also means that wait for the vCenter background services to be started. So if initializing in the message comes or 503 errors come, if it's 401 or 407, 407 you have to pay toll, right? And 407 and 401, if those errors come, they are not errors, I'm just making them up, right? But if 503 comes, yes, that's something you don't have to worry about, you just have to wait. Just wait for 6 to 10 minutes. So the solution is if these two comes, right? So again, the vCenter application is heavy. You may next time, half an hour before, you can start the machine, and by the time the class starts, you will have that machine up and running. So in the chat, what process will I see in Task Manager? So Task Manager, if it's related to so which task manager are you seeing? Are you inside server 2 and then you're going for that? What would you want to do with the process? So actually anything that is VMware, try to check that. But VMware Active Directory, or this is not Active Directory, AFD service, VMware Directory service, VMware Certificate service. So pretty obvious that it's going to be VMware processes there, anything VM. So then you will see Chrome, Java, these two, many, Python, lot many that starts with VM, exactly. Right, guys. So while we are still figuring out that how to get the vCenter up and running, and now we know that the vCenter username password is this administrator@vsphere.local, and the password is, if you have given the class password, then this is the class password that ends with simple 123 as well, or without shift 123, right? So now what is our environment, and what are we supposed to do next? Let's just discuss that first, and then we're going to start doing that as well. So we have server 2 as vCenter for Windows, and hypervisors need to be introduced to the vCenter. For that we need to do some RAM adjustment. So if you have just okay, good, hard luck for all of us, because we have last class we have given server 2 a lot of RAM. So how much RAM did we give to server 2? I'm gonna check that, and let's check it out. Let's see how much RAM we did give to server 2.
Sir, it's 12.
12. Okay, so that is 12 GB. So Amarjeet is showing 404. Oh, okay. So 404 page not found. I should be mentioning that too. But you can, Amarjeet, you can just select one of those. So let me just drag this here, and there's a vSphere client home written there, and vSphere documentation. So vSphere dash client. So just click that vSphere web client, Amarjeet, or try to close this and try to write it again, and it should take you to the same vSphere dash client. Yeah, the spellings are correct. So because of our RAM, we're gonna see a kind of unstable kind of environment, but it's gonna we will still be able to do all the hardcore labs as well. So okay, guys, here the RAM is 12 GB. So our total RAM is 16 GB, right? So this means that and the server 1 is 2 GB, and currently our server 2 RAM is 12 GB. So that's current RAM, right? So 2 GB and 12 GB. So any PhD in maths, doctorate in maths can tell how much total we have right now for the machines. So it's going to be 14 GB right now, but we need to stay under the 16 GB limit, right? So total 16 GB. Physical RAM, that is physical RAM. So out of that, or within, we need to stay within that. So now we're gonna reduce the RAM and increase the RAM. So what will happen is here we can give it, if we give it 6 GB, if we give it 6 GB, right? Now that's really slow. So 6 GB here, and then we can give 4 GB and 4 GB here, right? So it is, the CPU is used 100%. Ouch. CPU. Okay, so did we give 4 vCPUs here, Brahim? Because you need to check that how much CPU have you given, and is your laptop i5 or i7? So make sure that it's so GPU is right now. Well, it is 2 vCPUs to all, right? So 2 vCPUs and 2 vCPU. Oops. 2 vCPU. So this is the RAM that we can give here. So we're actually still going total 16 GB right now. Is it total 16 GB? So yeah, total 16 GB, but it's not gonna use that total right now. I mean, it may be up to 14. The total combined usage of the virtual machines could be 14 GB. It could go up to, sometimes it may go up to even 15 GB, right? So let's give this RAM. So this means that first of all we need to adjust the RAM so we can start the E6i hypervisors as well. So right now I have only started server 1 and server 2, but we need to start the E6i 1 and 2, so don't start them now. So first thing we can do is shut down server 2 and decrease the RAM from 12 GB to 6 GB, and make sure the 2 vCPUs are there, and then power on. Then once server 2 is powered on, and then we can power on E6i 1, E6i 2 after checking that the RAM is 4 GB, 4 GB here, and 2 vCPUs, 2 vCPUs here. So let's check all these configuration and then power on the machines. But now you would know that server 2 may take even longer time. Suspend will not let you change the RAM, Sabina. So suspend will not let us change the RAM. So guys, here I'm just going to E6i 1 and checking the RAM already is 4 GB and processor already 2 GB. If I go to E6i 2, which is already shut down, 4 GB memory and 2 processors. So E6i 1 and E6i 2 hypervisors are already having good CPU and RAM, right? Paul is asking what's the username for Vcenter. So here it is, Paul. I'll put that in the chat. And then so E6i 1 E6i 2 are shut down. I'm just gonna go to server 2, right click here and power, and there's a shutdown guest. Never power off, only shutdown guest. It properly shuts it down, waits for the services to shut down, right? So it's shutting down now, server 2, and it is shut down. And I'll change the RAM from 12 GB down to 6 GB, which is brutal. 6.208. So you can just type here directly 6208, or just drag it out down to 6208, and so it's 6.1 GB showing here now. And press OK. Wow, Brahim is showing 100 GB. Brahim, also close the what? Close the Chrome. Chrome is the main. So Brahim is now there. Oh, okay, that's good. So Brahim, you have to stay here, because then I'll be also reaching here. There's that Adobe Flash player that needs to be added. So I'm gonna show you the trick all. And Anthony is showing that SSO is. So Anthony, what is the RAM? 12 GB? Did you change the RAM 12 GB? If not, then
are we supposed to shut down? I just lost it there. Shut down or what?
Yeah,
shut down, yes.
Go ahead and shut down server 2.
Okay.
Okay, So Anthony, please shut down server 2 and change the RAM and start again. So then we will check that how it is appearing there now. So I did power off. Ouch. Okay, Kavita. So next time, shut down guest. Never power off. Okay, and Firoz says 6144 is 6.0. Okay, guys, go for 6144. Kavita says for 4 GB. So for server 1, it is 2 GB. Server 1 is always 2 GB, guys. Everyone, server 1, please go ahead and check that. Is it 2 GB or 4 GB? So I'm gonna go to server 1 and right click properties and check. Yes, it is 2 GB. 2 processors, 2 GB. Server 1. And server 2, 6 GB and 2 processors.
Amir, can we not have server 1 assigned as 1 GB or 1.5 GB?
Yeah, we can
Will
easily do
that?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just the application itself is heavy, and well, I asked Humber to tell everyone to have 24 GB RAM, but also that it's financial pressure. So I understand that. So we're trying our best to run this whole course on 16 GB RAM. So yeah, so Anthony just shut down and put the server 2 to 6 GB. So again, I'm showing the diagram here, guys. See the diagram here. Server 1 can also be reduced less than 2. Hopefully it's not gonna give problem. So and then there is that 6 GB RAM that you need to give server 2, and that can only be given when you shut down. If you have changed it, go ahead and power on. So E6i1 hypervisor and E6i2 hypervisor are okay. It's just server 2. So I'm just gonna power on after giving 6 GB RAM to server 2, and 2 processors already there on server 2. So I'm gonna power on now. Okay. So it's frozen, like Madhuri, your PC is frozen.
No, sir. I was thinking that my hard disk one is 100 GB. Do we have to change it to 200 GB?
For server 2.
Uh-huh.
Well, you also have a 200 GB hard disk, so the first one is having an operating system, so we cannot touch it. So no, do not change it
Okay.
to anything. Just power on, right?
Okay.
Okay. So server 2 for me is on login screen, and from here I'm supposed to wait 10 minutes. So and then it's going to show. So now there are many crashes, there are many errors there coming for everyone. Unable. So Brahim is saying unable to log in because you do not have permission to on any Vcenter system. Check the vSphere client logs. So guys, did you all log in from your first name admin? Please do not log in from administrator. Only log in from your first name admin. That's the domain admin account. Do not log in from administrator. Only log in from your first name admin. That is if I click here. So that's the administrator account, copy of the administrator account, right? Your first name admin. So there is that, my first name admin, and make sure that you're not logging from administrator. So second thing is permission issue might also come just after logging in. Better give it 10 minutes before we can start try to log into the Vcenter, actual Vcenter, because the RAM is 2 less now, and we need to have all the machines there with minimum amount of RAM. So server 2 is now thinking of starting. Google Chrome is the most RAM consumer. If you can stop that in the background, or any other scanning application like antivirus scan is going on, or any other scan, anti-malware scan is going on, so you could just stop all those services in the background, exit them, quit them, so you could free up a lot of RAM there. So I'm logged in from server 2. Make sure that server 1 is always logged in, and server 1 is always logged in because it's like oxygen to the environment. It's offering the infrastructure services. So server 1 is started, and I'll just try to, oh, it was logged out, so if it's not logged in, I'll just log in. Yep, it is already logged in. And now server 2 I'm logging in, but if I give that URL, it's just gonna give me 543 error first, and then it's gonna give me the initializing. So in fact, I should show you that too. So I'm gonna double click the Chrome and try to put that client. Maybe I'll get that SSO error as well. Not sure, but with the virtual RAM, that virtual CPU and RAM we have given, it's kind of okay, something that we are expecting. So if I go to task manager of server 2 now, that's the task manager of server 2, just to check how much RAM. And okay, so Brahim is logged in. Woohoo, yay! Oh, that's UI. Okay. In fact, that's a good idea. We can save a lot of our time in the initial configuration. Okay. Oh, there's Chrome. Okay, Chrome is taking, if I go for what's taking the most, Java platform. Java is taking a lot of RAM. Anti-malware service, Java, and then Chrome. That's inside the server 2 I'm checking. And CPU is only 100%. Thank God it's not more than 100%, right? Seriously. So that's why it's dead slow. So if I go to CPU process here, it's Java in the background is doing that. 500 SSO error for me, Himan says. So Brahim, you were also getting SSO error? You just closed and started? So guys,
yeah, I refresh and I use the UI, not the Flash.
oh, okay. So, okay, guys, there's another escape here from the Flash player based web client. There is a HTML5 client as well that can load faster. That is called HTML5 client, as I said. So that I mentioned before as well. But see this now. There are two types of web clients there, right? So one is the Flash based client, Flash player based, and that's what is creating issues. It needs a lot of RAM as well. So let me just write that: Flash based web client and HTML5 based web client, right? So there are two types of web clients there, and I'm going to give you the URLs for those. The Flash based web client is exactly like this, and the HTML5 web client, which you can try now, is UI in small case. So see this UI. Just type this, and then try to check if you can actually log in. So while leaving the Flash player there where it is asking for permissions, we're gonna save some time here as well. So everyone, please try this one as well, which is HTTPS /server 2. So I'm just gonna put both Flash based client and UI based client here. So, and server 2, or whatever the spellings of your servers are, just put that. Do not just copy paste fully like that. Maybe your server name is different than mine. So, but the end of it is UI, right? So I'm just gonna do that now. I'm gonna go for server 2 while in the background it is still Flash player based client is still thinking. In fact, it says proceed to hide. Your connection is not private. Hide advanced. See this initializing. So this is the first error that I was showing you. I'll just make a copy of that. I just wanted to show you that there are stages. If this comes, it means that the services of Vcenter in the background are starting. So I'm just gonna paste it there, So when you see the notes, you can see that when I say initializing, so what did I mean by that? Now, while I let it log in, let's go to that other client UI, and here is the UI. So this is the server2.humber.local/UI. If I just type UI, and there you go, no web page was found. What? Okay, so I'll just put that https://server2.humber.local/UI. Okay, or I will just close this, and so that is another, kind of hurdle. https://server02.humber.local. I'm just typing it again /UI. So it is also, since I just started and I have given 6 GB RAM, which is too brutal. Server 2 isn't responding fast. Yes, Paul, we have given the RAM 6 GB. It is supposed to be given 32 GB or 24 GB RAM, just this machine. And also, guys, we do not need internet connection here. In server 2, we do not need internet connection. So what I'm gonna go to server manager. I'm gonna go to local server. I will disable the second NIC. I will disable the second NIC. I don't need internet connection. We do not need internet connection. So as you said, yes, when it responds, then we can do that. So 6 GB RAM, 4 GB there. So we're kind of suffering here. Once Vcenter is up, then we can do anything. And at the end of the class, only suspend the machine. And since it is just loading, I can just show you, right click, and there's a suspend guest, this one, right? Just to see that at the end of the class when you're leaving, just make sure that it is suspend guest at that time. So NIC team is disabled, remote desktop is disabled, Windows firewall, it's not even bothering to show me. I'll just go for network settings here. Oh, there you go. So Ethernet 1, I'll click that and disable it. I don't need internet connection. So how many are logged into the UI or the flash based, especially UI? So Olufemi is logged in. Okay, with UI. Okay. Youngton is also logged in. Firoz is logged in. Olufemi both? Are you kidding me, man? Okay. Brahim is logged in with 1. Okay. So 5 are logged in. Yay! 5 out of 28. If any, but I have a particular issue. Sorry, I logged in with administrator at vsphere.local, but when I shut down to change my RAM, powered up the server, I can't log in again, but root can log in. So yeah, if any, root is the hypervisor, right? We need to log into Vcenter, and Vcenter requires a lot of patience. So this course is designed to increase our patience as well, and it's going to be a big test of our patience, and there will be a patience certificate separately given. I'm just making it up. So you can see that I've opened another browser here, and it's like thinking again and again. Log in both, Anthony. Okay, wow, man, way to go. So in Internet Explorer, because it's UI, I want to, okay, since it is showing now, Ethernet, oh, I clicked the wrong one. Seriously. So very few are logged into the Vcenter right now. So that's a full exercise of 52% RAM is not much. It's the CPU that is really affected. I'll just Ethernet 1, guys, disable Ethernet 1. So whatever you can do slowly, just try to do that. So disable Ethernet 1. I'm just gonna type that in OneNote. If OneNote is in front of you, it's being updated in 10 seconds to your side as well. So today's steps are: should we log in with root? No. So Kavita, okay. So everyone, some of us are thinking that we can log in from Vcenter from root as well, right? So root is only for logging into hypervisor, right? So, and this means that only the 2 hypervisors will have that, and for logging into Vcenter, what do we need? Center. It's administrator at vsphere.local. So, and the password as we have already given. So do not log in from root. We need to log in from Vcenter, right? And also the URL has to be the Vcenter URL. Okay, so Khalid is showing the SSO issue there. Khalid, did you try UI or are you trying Vcenter -line? So it has to be administrator at vsphere.local and the password, right? Kavita is showing this. So guys, first of all, try to log in from UI and server2.humber.local/UI. So it is also giving issues. Khalid is also showing that. If you are on, let me show you one screen here. If you are on this screen, wait for me. If you're on this screen, wait for me, right? Because I need to show you that how to get rid of this issue here. And also try to log in from UI as well. It's just reloading and waiting a little. But this is quite, I understand that is quite frustrating. It's just that Vcenter, we need all 4 machines here. But there's one more thing we can do to free up memory. We can just shut down server A6i2 only, and then try to first concentrate on logging into Vcenter by freeing up some memory. So there is Bikram has shown this screen here, and that screen is showing the Adobe Flash Player and the username password, right? So Bikram, if it is showing there, so this Flash Player needs to be installed, but some of the browser settings have to be changed a little, especially the Adobe Flash Player has to be allowed by the browser, and browsers are denied that. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to show you that how to allow that and remove this. Yeah.
But is it like we have to do it every time? Because I remember last time I did it, and after that the Flash based browser worked. It opened up, but I don't know why it's coming up again, like on my system.
In the start, it happens once or twice, but not every time. It doesn't happen every time.
Oh, okay.
But that's why they came up with UI as well.
Okay.
Sir, the Adobe Flash is being blocked over and over again because last week we all did this and it's come up again.
It came up again. So yeah, I just need to be reaching there on my machine as well. So that's what, if the Flash Player error is showing there, guys. Oh, okay, there you go. So now, guys, those who are on this screen, I can just show you how to get rid of this, right? And then we're gonna tackle all the other who are seeing this issue. But actually, maybe I showed that in last class as well, and that's the same thing we need to do. But if I haven't shown that, so let's just try this now. So those who are on this screen or those who are not on this screen, those who are not on the screen, please see this as well, because it's going to be recorded as well, and you might see that later once you are gone over with your current issues. So you will see that in near future, I can say. So please just check that how to get rid of this. First of all, I just asked you that we don't need internet connection, right? And we disabled, or I disabled, the second network card. So that is something that we should have done after getting rid of this error. So first of all, temporarily we need the internet again. So just go to Ethernet, and just if you have disabled it, then enable internet again on server 2, because we need to get rid of Adobe Flash Player error. So I'm just gonna enable the internet, and the yellow triangle is gone from my network icon here beside the clock. So once internet is enabled, and I'll refresh that so it could show that. Okay, it's showing now. So that's the first thing. If you get internet connection, now after that, let's go through this. How do we get rid of it? So second thing is this: go to not secure here, written here, and then right click on top of that not secure. So once we right click on top of that, you can see that flash is showing block, right? So just click allow, and we have already configured actually automatic downloads and pop-ups, because last time I was showing you that. So hopefully this is there, but flash was supposed to be allowed. Now internet is there. As soon as you click the flash as allow after right clicking here, and then click allow, and hopefully your pop-ups and automatic downloads are also already on allow, then click anywhere else now, and the reload sign will come up here, right? And once you click reload, so it's gonna just reload and actually download that flash player. So then we can just put our administrator at vsphere.local and tab, and small abc, capital abc, shift 123 without shift 123. We put that. Hopefully you have put on that as well. Okay, don't make it as a habit. Put on is no word in English. Okay, so log in. And so I just waited till now, like I gave it a good 10 to 15 minutes and the services in the background are started, and then I'm trying that now. I think more than 15 minutes I've given it. So then when we log in, it just logs in. So that same extension, if I try on server 1, if I go to server 1 now, and server 1 also has a browser. Oh, actually it does not have a internet explorer. Okay, so SSO is still coming. This means, so guys, now if you are still getting errors of SSO or other errors, then it's kind of either restart and wait for 10 to 15 minutes again, and don't touch that Vcenter until then. And don't worry if you have to complete the lab tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. You can have 1 full week given to complete the lab. If you're having those issues and you have a screenshot of that, then time can be extended easily, no problem, because it's not under your control, right? So that's the one thing that I can say, because if we wait till like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that everyone's Vcenter is up and running, so we won't be able to do anything, right? So we need to record some labs there, so you could complete it during the week as well, right? And you don't worry about any time restraint there. I understand that those whose Vcenter is not ready, you can still restart and wait 10 to 15 minutes and then log in and then try it again, and it might work. So, but if you got delayed or left behind in the lab, then sit back and try to understand what's going on, and then complete it even tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. You have full week to complete that, right? After the video is released. So I hope you understand what I'm saying here, that if we have waited 1 hour, if we keep on waiting on Vcenter being connected for every machine, so that's going to be a loss of today's class as well. So hopefully if you understand, then have patience and try to understand first the concepts of what's about to happen, right? That's my suggestion, that we should carry on with the lab if some of us are able to, and others try to understand, because ultimately you need to have a job on this, right? If we don't understand what's going on, we cannot talk in interview about that. So if you are okay, then what we can do is we can actually, so it's still logging in for me as well. And if I go to UI here, so UI also is in a bad mood today, or it became, now it's kind of responding. So 6 GB is too brutal. So Shabuddin, yes, normally we all installed Chrome on server 2, but I also am installing it in server 1. So otherwise we are running it out of server 2. So you can see that I just waited enough time, I think it was 20 minutes, and then now UI is also logged in, right? So that's the whole story of it. We had to wait a lot because of the less RAM, right? And it's still giving weird errors there as well, but it's just loading right now. So I've logged in from UI, and now guys, while this is up, is your E6i1, E6i2 also up? So we can go for E6i1. I'm just going to power it on, and I'm going to go to E6i2 and power it on, having its RAM as 4 GB and 2 processors, and 4 GB and 2 processors, right? So so Madhuri has given a nice picture there, a GIF there for that, and I'm getting SSO error too. Okay, I will just start and wait. So yes, Sandeep, thanks for cooperation, guys. We need to still go ahead and try to understand that. Don't worry about if your machine is going slow, and if you understood what's going on here, then clicking and next, click will be then useful. If we click, but we don't understand what's going on, then the whole time is wasted, right? So my suggestion is just if you get SSO, restart, but wait for a good 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes, and then try to put that link again there. So E6i1, E6i2 are starting. Hopefully they are starting on your PC as well. And oh, Madhuri, you're getting a variety of errors now. Like it's not just one error. It's so an error occurred while sending a logout request to the Vcenter single sign-on, and occurred when processing the metadata during Vcenter. So guys, normally we did not misconfigure anything. It's not getting enough memory to really start some services. Every service in the background of Vcenter needs some memory free to execute its tasks, and it's not getting that. So it's just saying, one task is telling the others, hey, I cannot load this because there was not enough memory given for enough time. So that's why it's just crashing again and again. And you already have E6i1 and 2 started. Okay. So Madhuri, what you can do is E6i1, E6i2, you can shut down and try to concentrate on just restarting it and waiting for 10 minutes, and then log in, and then try to open this link again. So it's juggling with the memory, guys. But you're gonna get used to it in this class and next class, how to deal with the, once it is started, just suspend the machine later, don't shut it down. Okay, thank you for your cooperation as well, Mallory. And so guys, I have E6i1, E6i2 started here, and this machine here is still thinking what to do. So I'm just gonna give a refresh here of the browser, and if I go to the task manager of the server 2 here and go for the performance, so now CPU is not reaching 100% well, regularly, like consistently. So it's now kind of okay after all the services have started. So the Vcenter, that's why I call it a beast. With less RAM, it's gonna appear as a beast. But I've refreshed it, and now hopefully it just loads everything. Now while it is loading, administrator at vsphere.local. See this on the right side, administrator at vsphere.local. So it is still loading here, and go to home. If I click that, go to home. Oh, there you go. So I just click the go to home, and then it's showing all that: hosts and clusters, VMs and templates, storage, networking, content libraries, global inventory lists, policies and profiles, and administration. So it's showing all those, all that here. While it is showing here, if I go to server 1, that's where I was installing the Google Chrome here. And Chrome also required internet connection. So I'm just gonna quickly give a server 1 internet connection. You know why I'm going to server 1 to connect to the vCenter? Because of my issue with VMware tools in server 2. So I'll just quickly add that here. You don't have to do that. It's just that my VMware tools are crashing on server 2. I don't know why. So I'm just quickly putting that internet connection here, and then launching here, because I need to show you in a big screen, and it's a bit small screen there. So guys, introduction to the vCenter here, hosts and clusters. So hosts and clusters is the area where we're going to be spending a lot of time here. Pretty much all the course will be spending here, hosts and clusters. And then there is VMs and templates, where all the virtual machines and templates will be there. Anyone knows what's a template? What is the main purpose of a template? Anyone ever heard of a template before, or what's the main purpose of a template? Baseline. Okay. Rough draft of machine. Rough. As you want to say, is cloning. There you go. To make copies. Exactly. Image. All right. So template is exactly to make clones, and exactly you have to have a template of a perfectly configured machine. When that machine is perfectly configured and all the patches are done, all the software updates are done, all the proper software are there with all the features working, then you shut it down with sysprep, and then you start making clones out of that. So so that's a separate section here, VMs and templates. Then there's storage. Now this storage is going to not only handle the local disks of this machine, but it's going to handle what we're about to add here. And so these are the local disks, suppose. So file disk, we can say, or physical disk, we can say. So these are the local disks, right? But we are about to add here the SAN or software SAN as well. So if I say file disk or physical disk here, or file disk 1 actually. So file disk 1 of, we may add 2, 3 more, or we may have added that already, or we may add that later. But this is a physical disk 1 or local disk where operating system or hypervisor is installed. But we're about to do is that we're going to install a software SAN on server 1, and everyone server 1 is already working. There we're going to add 3 disks. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, right? 3 disks. Why will we create that? Because the minimum acceptable network of VMware virtualization is that your virtual machines must not be installed on top of a local physical disk. It should be installed on top of shared disks over the network called LUNs, or logical unit numbers, right? So each disk will be connected to each hypervisor. If this hypervisor is supposed to take part in vMotion, then each disk has to be connected to both hypervisors, or suppose you have 200 hypervisors, so every hypervisor, so one disk, suppose you have here 20 disks, right? And you have 200 hypervisors, so that's a very big company, right? So, or big company. So one disk out of 20 will connect to all 200 hypervisors. Second disk will connect to all 200 hypervisors. Third disk, and so on. They will all connect. Each disk will connect to every hypervisor. So the benefit of that is that any hypervisor can be used as a virtual machine later, or like for vMotion as well. Any of the hypervisor can be used as a virtual machine. Seriously, did I say that? So any of the hypervisor can offer vMotion capability, which means that a machine is on this hypervisor and can actually migrate to this hypervisor. So we're going to be doing those labs, vMotion labs, after we discuss storage. So this is what we're about to create now. And how can we introduce these shared disks over the network, or LUNs here? So this will be a logical unit number, or LUN 0, and then there's LUN 1, and then there is LUN 2. So these logical unit numbers or shared disks over the network will be introduced with the help of Vcenter. So obviously the whole course revolves around the Vcenter. I mean, Vcenter, without that Vcenter, we don't have a course, right? So that Vcenter will help us introduce the software SAN into the environment. Please, is the class recorded? Oh, okay. So yep, numbers are moving. So thank you for that reminder, and the class is recorded. So guys, this is what we're going to do in terms of storage, and Vcenter will help us map these storage over the network to these two hypervisors, or to 100 hypervisors, or 2000 hypervisors. Okay, so if I go back to my machine here, so there is that storage, then there is networking portion here. Obviously we're going to go for first of all virtual standard switch. We're going to understand that. Then we're going to go for distributed switch. Now that's a tougher one. The distributed switch is the granddad of the standard switch, and it is centrally handling all the virtual machine networking. So we're going to install distributed switch after we have done some understanding on standard switch, right? Content libraries and global inventory lists and policies and profiles, administration. So all these we're going to be discussing, but mainly we're going to be going for host and cluster. Most of the time we're going to be inside host and clusters. Then VMs and templates and storage and networking will also be used with that. How do we go to home in Navigator? So Jagwant asked there. So Jagwant, here, see this? There's a home button here, this one. So if you click that, then there's a home. So yeah, that's a good question as well, that suppose you're lost and you clicked so many links there, you want to go to the home button. So there's that home button and you click the home button, or you can go to any of those specific areas from here as well. Or I'll just click the home button, which is where I am right now. Okay, so here guys, now first thing is ESXi is started, right? ESXi 1 and ESXi 2 both are started. For me it is, they are, right? Second thing, the Vcenter is logged in, so ESXi has to be added to the Vcenter, so Vcenter could control it centrally, right? So now Vcenter does not know there are two hypervisors, so we are going to introduce hypervisor 1 to Vcenter, and then hypervisor 2 to the Vcenter. How do we do that? So we're going to join them to the Vcenter, just like we join Microsoft machines to the domain. So now for that, we need to go and click the hosts and clusters here. And if I click further, so it's hopefully going to let me work. So guys, in last class, in last course actually, something happened to my machine as well, and I had to remotely team viewer into some a student's machine, and then I was able to do some of the labs on the student's machine as well. Now I'm just I've just clicked here and it's loading. Now guys, one more thing here, I have actually 32 GB RAM, and I don't have to really be suffering I mean, like, the thing is that you guys have managed, but I need to actually show you all the features, advanced features, right? Even if you get it recorded, you can always follow it up as well, right? If I go for 8 GB, don't do that yourself because you will be overcommitting that. And second thing is that hopefully it detects that, the operating system detects that, because I need to go ahead, right, to show something, all the advanced features. So for that, if I am, also not able to start that, then how can we get the codes up and running? I'm just increasing a little of my RAM here, if this can accept it. So operating system normally does not accept that, and I don't want to restart that as well. If the operating system restarts, then normally it accepts that. Okay, right click on this PC. Oh, it detects that. Oh, good. 8 GB. Serious? So added, detected it. So it's a bit more RAM, but I can go aggressive here because I really need to show you. Need to go ahead. Some of you are actually better. You have better system than I have, and that's not fair. You're gonna have marks. Oh, just kidding. So hosts and clusters. If I go here now,
Sure.
and it is 12 GB and still not loading. Ouch. Olufemi, you have more RAM, like 16 GB, like 32 GB. Mm-hmm. So UI is also staring at me. Those who are logged in successfully from this, are you also all logged in from UI as well? Because if I start in UI, then could now connect to one or more vCenter systems to SDK. Oh yeah, that's good. Come by my PC. Oh, seriously, that never happened in even previous course where we all had 16 GB RAM. Oh no, it comes down to that. If I had to shoot, I don't want to say that. Restart. I hope you didn't hear that. Seriously, there's the same course going on in other college. Some of them have 32, but yeah, they're also at 16 GB. But it just worked. Okay, let me just close some of the culprits here. How can I update the vCenter if I close that? Okay, it's loaded again. I really need to go inside the host and clusters, so I could right click and start introducing. So first create the data centers and then then add the. So while it is loading, and I'll give it a little time, more time. So what I'm explaining here is that if you're already there, or if you know what to do, so we're gonna create a data center. Now, what is a data center? So we're gonna create a data center. When you right click on that server 2 written there, once it is it loads inside host and clusters, it will show you server 2. When you right click on server 2, it will ask you, hey, you want to create a data center or a folder? So folder is for just organization. Suppose you have offices in Canada and US, so you can create a folder called Canada, and you can create a folder called US, and then inside the folder you can create data center there, right? So if there's a data center, so we're going to create a Tor DC here, and then then we're going to right click and again create a data center. Data center is like a folder as well, but it offers you all the advanced features like cluster and vMotion and distribute switch. So pretty much if you don't create a data center, then you can't do anything. You have to create a data center, and that's just if you right click only and then go for data center. So so we're going to create 2 data centers here, although we don't need 2 data centers there, but we're going to create 2 data centers because just to know that, hey, we can create more than 1 data center, and that's how it looks like, right? And second thing is, on the 2 data centers, in Tor DC, we're going to add ESXi01 hypervisor, and in NYDC, we're going to add ESXi2 hypervisor. ESXi02. So when you do create a data center, inside it will ask, hey, do you want to add a host? What is a host? Host is our, yes, Paul, new data center. So host is our ESXi01 and ESXi02. Okay, so there are comments there. Shabina says, sir, can we use UI instead? Yes, we can use UI instead as well. And for learning the features at least, yep, we can use UI as well. And now the issue is RAM issue. So yeah, we can increase the RAM. Madhuri says I give up. Ouch. So Madhuri, you can just stop the A6i2 and then try that. So guys, here, well, Madhuri, at the end of the class, we can just I can connect to you to your machine and try this with some, you know. Yeah. So feature difference. What is the difference between UI and non-UI? So there is not a lot of feature difference. Why there are two of them? Because VMware is trying to get rid of the Flash player based Vcenter, and it is also trying to offer the UI based Vcenter, right? So it's trying to like just get rid of the Flash based because of some of the reasons. Flash player, they are totally dependent on Flash player to show all these attractive screens, and UI is a bit more simpler, and it does not it is not very fancy, but it loads without Flash player. Suppose Flash player it kind of crashes, then HTML5 has that edge of that it's very simple coded, and it does not crash, or it does not depend on Flash player. So you have to always update the Flash player version. Now guys, one more thing is there that it's still not loading, so I'm just gonna give it a shutdown, and I'm gonna give it a lot of RAM now because I have it. So so I could just go ahead with you guys. So it's still not loading, and I don't know why there is a problem there. AirGB, if I go for 12 GB here and start again. Okay, Paul, yeah, you can give me TeamViewer and I can start at least, going through this features there. Thank you, Paul. So you can, anyone can actually give me the TeamViewer so I can connect to your machine and simply go ahead with the features. So yeah, after I've given 12 GB, I will still give it 10 minutes. So that 10 minutes I can just connect to somebody's machine, create a data center after this. Yes. So I'll show you the whole configuration now. I'll thank you, Paul, for sharing your machine, and I'll connect to quickly with TeamViewer to Paul's machine now, and the password. Okay. Oh, okay. So first of all, let me just. So I'm connected to Paul's machine because it is working and mine is not working. And it is recording as well. Numbers moving, yeah. So guys, what I was showing here was that server 2 is there, and we can right click here to server 2. So Madhuri, I was connecting to Paul's machine because it's working actually. In fact, my machine is also slow right now, and so I just need to show some basic configurations there, and then later definitely I'll be connecting your machine as well. No problem. Ouch, I was kicked out. You hurt my feelings, Paul. Okay. So connection blocked after timeout. Your license limits the maximum session duration to a partner. Immediate reconnects are Oh, immediate reconnect. Did I immediately reconnect? Okay, so I'll just use any desk. No, it's not immediate. I'll just do it afterwards. Connection to this partner will be blocked until 19 minutes. Today is a lucky day. Everything is going haywire. Seriously, it's gonna make me made 20 minutes now. Okay, what happened to my machine? I have logged in again. Seriously, what's happening today? If it was not a hands-on class, I would have just given a lecture, blah 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 blah. But hands-on class has to be totally hands-on. You know what? I have.
So let's do the lecture today then. Today is no hands-on day.
Only lecture. Okay, I'll start with blah 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 blah. So lecture will be boring. Yeah, it's really boring. But I need to. Oh yeah, English. And I need to speak in English as well. So I've given it 12 GB RAM. Troubleshooting also boring. Hey, you hurt my feelings now. See this 543 error. I wanted to show you this. This means that in the background services are still starting. So I have a backup machine, and there's that Vcenter not installed there as well. Okay, so I was gonna just go to the other college machines where the Vcenter is installed, and right now RHEL. What's on RHEL? So, oh, that's for. Did it lock you out of my team viewer? Yeah. So Paul, it is asking me to wait 20 minutes because I connected again fast again and again. So it said that there's a penalty of flowing in 20 minutes. Seriously? Oh, guys, anyone knows that how to give? You can just share within the Webex as well, and I can take full, Webex also lets you share. Paul, do you know how to share your machine on Webex? Here's that link. Share here. $7.21. Okay, I'll go up there and grab Paul's. Wow. Oh, what happened? Okay, so Paul has shared his machine, and I'm asking for control here now. So this is within Webex. I'm asking control and request. Paul, you can accept the request and take control. Thank you, Paul. Man, you're celebrity today. So everyone has to take, autograph of Paul today. Paul is a celebrity. So get in line and take that autograph from Paul. Okay. So here, so Shabina is a celebrity already. So yeah, but here, guys. So oh, it's okay. So sorry, Shabina, take you're the celebrity, and please get in line. She's gonna give autograph to everyone. Okay. So thank you, Shabina, for that. And let's right click here, guys. So what we're saying, what I was saying was, let's create the structure there. So right click here on server 2, and I'm sorry, I'm right clicking here on server 2, and believe me, I'm right clicking on server 2. And so Shabina, you can right click. Okay, and then there is that new data center, right? So that new data center will create just a folder with a lot of features inside. So we don't call it folder, we just call it data center, just to organize separate data centers. Suppose you have a Toronto data center, New York data center, or London data center, and Tokyo data center. So you would just divide them, but you have to create a data center to get all the advanced features of the VMware, right? So let's type here TORDC, TORDC. Am I able to do that? Hey, did I not ask control here? I did, yeah. And you accepted that control. So Shabina, you can type here Tor DC, because somehow the control is not reaching there for me. Tor DC, exactly. So this is not domain controller, this is data center, right? So domain controller is a terminology in Microsoft. So we can right click on server 2 again and create that basic structure. So Shabina, you can go ahead and thank you for your cooperation. And new data center here again. And for our lab, we don't need 2 data centers, but just to show that in production environment, that's how it's going to look like. So NYDC, exactly. And then press OK here. Now, there are 2 data centers here, and what we need to know is if you right click on the Tor DC itself, yeah, right click, go ahead and right click, thank you, and add host is there, new cluster is there, new folder, okay. No, my feelings were hurt now. I was just explaining everything and you click the add host. No, just kidding. So so yeah, let's just see that what's there. So when you add a data center here, so that's add host, there's new cluster, there's new folder, there's distribute switch, new virtual machine, there is new VApp from library. We're gonna talk about all the resource pool, the VApp as well, and OVF is for import, export, then storage, and new data stores can be created, and then default VM compatibility. This default VM compatibility is there if suppose you migrated from 6.0 to 6.5 or 6.5 to 6.7. So compatibility shows you that, hey, your virtual machine, so your hypervisor has migrated or upgraded from 6.7 to 6.5 to 6.7, suppose. So hypervisor is upgraded, but virtual machines are not upgraded. So compatibility mode shows that, hey, go to that virtual machine and upgrade, and go to this virtual machine and upgrade. So and then there is migrate VMs to another network. You can do that too. And then there's move to, rename, tags, and custom attributes, add permission. So we're gonna go up to the add host on the top. Yeah, thank you. And once we click add host now, guys, it's better to add the host by name and by FQDN specifically. So this would be the hypervisor name. So ESXi01 dot humber dot local. I think that was our it was okay. So your first name ESXi01. Dot humber dot local. So now if your name resolution is working fine, which means that server 1 Shabina, our DNS is down. Your server 1 is not up, right? That is a straight -10 temperature. Okay. Server 1 has our DNS. So this by name access will not be possible if DNS is not up, right? So DNS has to be up. It's going to ask the DNS, hey DNS, do you have this name with this like fully qualified domain name, or FQDN is there or not? And DNS will say yes, I have, and then only it can add it. Otherwise you won't be able to add by name, although you can add by IP, but in production environment you can't afford to have that because that's not the best practice. Suppose you have 500 hypervisors, so 10 in New York, 20 in Toronto. So if it is not by name, how would we know which hypervisor is where? And so that's why we must have by name access. For that, the DNS must be in the network, in contact in the network. So okay. Now the whole planet is watching you, so yeah, you can't put wrong password. So yeah, the whole Humber College is depending on Shabina's PC now. Okay. Well, the DNS must be okay. So let's click next. If these spellings are correct, then let's click next. And yes, so anyone knows the username and password that we want to put? What username password we can put here? Anyone knows that? So will it?
So I just logged in this. I wanted to know where do I get this add host window.
Okay. That window is did you create the data centers as well?
No.
So right click on your first name
Sorry.
server 2,
Okay.
and then do you see add data center or data center? So right click on server 2 inside host and clusters.
New. Is it new data
Yes,
center?
exactly.
Okay.
So
And then data center?
yeah, and then Tor DC for the first data center, TOR DC, data center DC, and the second data center will be my DC. So yeah,
पता नहीं
it will be root.
मैं कॉल
Sorry.
देख रही हूँ मेरा खुद का मैं अभी जस्ट कर रही हूँ मेरा मशीन अभी स्टार्ट हुआ है
अच्छा अभी start हो. Oh sorry, it just started now. Okay. So here
okay
root. So Shabina, you can write root, and so they're all saying root here. If any and Shabadin, Madhuri, you're good. Hopefully you're.
Sir, I'm at the tab where it says create data center, then it says add host.
There
Then
you
I
go.
don't know what
Add
to
host. That's it. You're there. Click the add host, and
do.
yeah.
No, it is not.
Oh,
It is not going ahead with that add host thing.
did you right click on the Tor DC?
Sorry?
Did you right click on the Tor DC? On the data center
No.
that you created? Did you complete the data center creation?
Okay, I think I will do it later because it is a problem. I will just do it later.
Okay.
I'm way behind, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, at the end of the class, I can just remotely connect and do for you all the lab if the machine is working. Okay, so here it's not making communication contact. Cannot contact the specified host. The host may not be available on the network. A network configuration problem may exist. So by name, it's not able to access. Guys, anyone else seeing this, or are you able to just go ahead? Anyone else who's following? Are you able to go ahead? Because this is just a communication thing. You can just click back. Oh, there you go. So Tenzin, you press yes to that. So Shabina, you can go back. Shahab, you can press yes to this. If guys you see SHA-1 thumbprint of the certificate, then press yes to that. Yeah, so that's good, Shabina. It's good to go with IP for now, so we can go ahead. And yes, it should communicate. And yes, so if you see the SHA-1 thumbprint, then press yes. And there you go. So if you're on the screen, this means that congratulations, you're connected. The connection to from the host to the vCenter is okay now. So let's click next. So but guys, it's gonna only work with the name if you have the server 1 up and DNS is in range. So for some reason it's not right now there. So yeah, click next. Evaluation license, yes, it's gonna be 60 days. And yes, so guys, this is the lockdown mode. So lockdown mode we may have talked about before as well. So the lockdown mode is where normal lockdown mode means am I able to annotate here? No. Okay, so yeah, I am able to. So if you're seeing my screen, well, you are. So lockdown mode is, so if you go for normal mode here, that's gonna be that you can connect from DCUI. Anyone knows what is DCUI? Which area is DCUI? Anyone knows that? Direct console user interface, right? So that's where you go for the ESXi and you connect directly to that by pressing F2, right? So either you can connect from DCUI or you can connect from Vcenter. So normal lockdown mode means that you can connect from Vcenter or DCUI and DCUI. Actually, it's not or. Vcenter directly you can connect to from Vcenter to the ESXi, any of the ESXi, 1 or 2, ESXi, right? Vcenter to the ESXi, or from DCUI you can connect to ESXi. But what you cannot do from there is cannot connect to ESXi from browser. So after you enable the lockdown mode, you cannot connect from browser. So remember that we were doing that. You were typing https://e6i01 and then we press enter and it would just connect to the hypervisor, right? So once you enable that normal lockdown mode, you cannot connect from browser separately. You either have to connect to ESXi from Vcenter or from DCUI. But if you enable strict lockdown mode, what will happen is that you won't be able to connect from browser anyway, but you won't be able to connect from DCUI as well. The only way you can connect to the hypervisor is from Vcenter. So that's why we're not going to go strict lockdown mode, but we're going to go normal lockdown mode, where we won't be able to connect from browser, but we will be able to connect from DCUI, which is just directly connecting to the root, to the hypervisor, or from within the Vcenter. That's the only two ways. So we're going to connect, we're going to select the normal lockdown mode. And the main thing is, do we understand what we're doing? Again, and later we can just complete that. In fact, I'm going to create my environment later now as well. So that's going to be a problemo. I'll just put that. I'll crop it quickly and go to our there we go. Okay, so that's one thing. And once you select the normal lockdown mode, then that's it. It's just ready. It's just a summary, and you can click finish, and we're good. So the first hypervisor is added to the Toronto DC or Tor DC. It's just adding, so it's okay. It's gonna show you the red sign, but it's actually okay. Just next after, yes, exactly, Kavita. Just next after lockdown mode. Next finish. That's all. And NYDC, we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna right click on NYDC and we're gonna click add host here. So if the data center is already created, then we can do that. And then yeah, you can just try with the name first. Since we are connecting to hypervisor, so it's going to be root and the password. Oh, now guys, suppose you get that error. There is a troubleshooting for that. So okay, so first Shivana is going to DNS. If the two serve 01, oh no. Hey, where is the ESXi? So let's create an A record now. Yeah. I think you had to create the environment again. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, whatever exact ESXi name, yeah, it's there actually showing as well. But whatever you gave inside, that's the name we need to give. So on the left side, you can see that name. So yeah, so that exact name you have to put here. But Shabina, can you go to the ESXi screen, the DCUI of ESXi01? Just click that screen on, yeah. So yes, exactly. Okay. No, just the screen, because your name is showing there, Shabina ESXi01. So that's what I just wanted to see, that exactly you've put there already. So it's okay. So let's go back and let's continue to add the A record. Yeah, so you're good. Yeah, but these A records have to be there for us to be. But yeah, okay, sure. So that's it. Yeah, and then the second one. So guys, those who are able to connect, you can go ahead and next, right? So that's the same procedure to add the second one as well. Yeah, 192.168.200.4. Now select the, okay, too late. But you have to select server 1 and refresh, or go for IP config flush DNS. Yeah. and registered DNS. Great. And that has to be done on. So that's what I was gonna say. If the A records were there, that let's just click the flush DNS registered DNS, and then it should be resolved if it is able to communicate with the DNS. So this can happen in your production environment as well, and this can be in the interview as well. That suppose it doesn't take the name, then what do? So you check the A records. That's the first thing you say in the interview. Second thing, if A records are there, then flush DNS register DNS. That's what you say in the interview. Or restart the client DNS service. Third troubleshooting is that. There you go. Okay, Kavita is already there. Now let's see if it works. Oh well, after that, there you go. DNS is now communicating. Yay! Okay, and then yeah, evaluation is there. So Kavita has already added the second one as well, and the normal lockdown mode, guys. And yes. So server 1 has to be on, must be on. Server 1 is oxygen. So no oxygen means no machines. No oxygen means server 1 is down. So server 1 must be up all the time. Again, server 1 must be up all the time. I hope many are connected to this environment, and do you just add server 2 to NYDC? Yes. So Paul says not working. So Paul did Paul and Jagwan. So Paul and Jagwan, did you? Oh yeah, we should do that. Yeah, if your machines are okay, you should be following this. Must the server 1 be on? Paul, without DNS, we cannot work. You can add by IP. In that case, still server 1 should be on. Why? Server 1 should be on because server 2 is a member server of Active Directory, right? So Active Directory is where? It's on server 1, right? So Jagwan, can you try with IP address as well? Just like Shabina did. So it didn't work for Tor on IP, but it worked for NY. So this means that Paul, you're try to ping from this machine to the E6I01 and check it out. So Tenzin shows a screenshot there. You do not have permission. So Tenzin, it's just trying to add right now. There is you need to give it time. Is there anything showing in the recent tasks? Because if it is red, this means that it's still trying to add. So try to refresh the whole browser, or there's a sign out, sign in here on administrator@vsphere.local. So that would also work. And so Paul is saying IP works. So Jagwan says IP works. Okay, so add from IP right now because many of us thought that server 1 should be down as well. So guys, as many times as I could say, never shut down server 1. Never shut down server 1. Okay, let me just say it one more time. Never shut down server 1, right? So because if you now started, even now if you started, then the DNS services takes time to communicate, right? Yes, Jagwant, after logging, we just need to click next, but make sure that normal lockdown mode is selected, Jagwant. Normal lockdown mode. Lockdown mode is on normal. That's what we need to see, right? And Paul, if by IP it's not adding, then it's not even DNS and it's not even fault of server 1. It's just works after flush DNS. There you go. So Olaf Emi has done flush DNS. You guys, you have all seen that what was done on Shabina's machine. So this is what we all need to do to add the two hypervisors to the vCenter. this is the process of adding the host. First we create the data center, then we add a host like this, right? So then we add a host like this. So Jay says SSO error cannot connect to the VMware component manager. Oh man. So that SSO error is not going away. I think just like others, you have to restart and wait for 10 to 15 minutes. So Sandeep says restart and wait for 20 minutes. So Sandeep, is it working for you after that? Because Sandeep also got this error. Oh, okay. Actually, I also waited for 20 minutes. So so restart and wait 20 minutes. So guys, after today, we're gonna be suspending the vCenter. So next classes we will not have that kind of issue there. And throughout the week I can connect and others can connect to others machines and fix the vCenter issue. And you can all reach this stage where we are right now. But we're just trying to crawl ahead and trying to check that what's going on. So here, so guys, we all need to. Okay, so Paul is showing that permission to perform this operation thing, and this is the error for adding the machine. You not hold privilege system view on folder. This operation was denied. Oh, that's a special one. Paul, your root password is okay? Did you log in from that root from server E6i1? So try it on E6i01, and if that username password is okay, and also check if the lockdown mode is already not enabled on E6i1. That could also cause this error of permission, but mainly is your root password being accepted here or not. Okay, so guys, we're just crawled up to the area where we have added the 2 data centers and added the 2 hypervisors here. So after that, the lab is a bit easier. It's not that tricky. We just have to attach the storage. So what we can do is, if there are any errors related thing, this is also kind of a break time. So what we can do is, we can just try to have that 15 or 20 minute or 15 minute we can give as a break and try to fix our machines by that time. Otherwise, we can go ahead and try to confirm, create the whole environment. Yeah, so Jagwant, if it's keep locating, so you can try to wait for it, because it's just trying to communicate with that host. And Jagwant, also turn off the firewall or double check the firewalls on server 2 and server 1. So guys, let's carry on with the class in 7:48. So 8:05 then, 10:48, 8:05, right? And then
So just one thing here, Amir. So when we put in the connection settings, the username and password, we put it as the root
yes,
username and password.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, can I share my screen right here?
Yeah. Yes, Khaled, 2 DC can be in one. Is 2 E6I can be in one DC. Can 2 DC participate in one E6I? No. You can add one E6I to either one of the DCs, and 2 E6I can be on one DC. It's the opposite of that. But nothing is adding under NYDC. So Jagwan, try to add again. try to add again the 2. Otherwise, check that E6I2 is. So when you are adding, you have to remove the first one. But otherwise, you can try to wait a little if it is added and it's successfully showing there. Okay, who's where and what? So can I am asking for control, Paul. Take control and right click. Wow, today is my unlucky day, I guess. Even after taking control, I cannot control. So okay, try to go back, Paul. Click the back button. Paul, you can do that because I am unable to do that. Or you can give me the team viewer as well. Oh yeah, back and 192.168. So can you show on server 1 your DNS? Actually, no, you're going IP based, right? So then from server 2 you can try to ping this IP from server 2. Try to ping that IP. So what happened?
It's not giving me access. I don't know why.
Well, it's kind of, yeah, I guess the RAM issue. You can close and open again.
Like 2.168.200.3.
Okay, we can ping by IP, and let's go to E6I1 as well. Let's click the E6I1 directly, the host, the hypervisor. No, that's 2, yeah, 1, and wow, that's 2.3, and Paul E6I01. So press F2 and go inside. Yeah, and the password. And oh, lockdown mode is already configured. So go down one step only. And hey, did you enable that lockdown mode? I think you enabled it before when we were on hypervisor. Okay, so disable it. Not following teacher, huh? Okay, press spacebar and press enter. Oh no, yeah. And press enter and press escape once. You're good. So now go back and add it, and it should add. So lockdown mode should not be enabled when you're adding the host to the Vcenter. Yeah, just next. Oh, you're good. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
And who else? Anyone else want me to connect? Madhuri, you're there, or anyone else?
Sir, what hosts we have to add to the first data center? I miss this.
So we need to add. So I'm just gonna show that diagram here, and that is. So E6I1 needs to be added to TorDC, and 2 need to be added to NYDC.
Okay.
Cool. So by name or by IP, up to you.
Amir, Bikram here. When I get into ESXi1, the configure lockdown mode is like kind of grayed out. I'm not able to.
No, so
highlight that. So I don't know if it is enabled or disabled.
So you have already enabled or added the two hosts, or have you added the two hosts already to the?
No, I'm adding it.
So yeah, that is supposed to be grayed out then. So is there an issue
Okay.
going on with that? So if there's no issue, then yeah, go ahead and add.
So now I'm getting this security alert. It says unable to verify the authenticity of the host. So I click on yes there, right?
Yes,
The thumbprint of the certificate is this. Let's see.
So Jagwant, by IP you can add and also check the what's the error you're getting when it's not adding the second ESXi. Do you get any error? Or you can also just show me your screen and disconnected. That's the first one, right? 2.3. So can you share your screen here on Webex?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, this is Paul. Under the one I just created, the IP is not showing underneath. It's only showing on one.
So
On one of the data centers. Is that okay?
well, did you add the second host already?
Yes.
So you can expand the Tor DC, and does it show there? 204.
No.
Then add it. So this was not added. This means, and hopefully you did not enable the, that lockdown there as well. So you need to disable it first and then add it.
No, I only did it. It worked fine on the NYDC. I did the NYDC first, but on the TODC, I just did it now and it didn't work. But I'll try again.
So
I'll try to load it.
you just try again. Yeah, if it's not showing here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Jagwant is saying here, I'll ask control.
Sir, for add-in is just next.
Then did you enable the lockdown mode? Lockdown mode has to be normal. That's the only thing, and next finish.
Okay, thank you.
Control, and wow, it gives me the control and then it does not. Oh, but that's 3. So okay, it was Sandeep. No. Whose machine am I connected to right now? Jagwant. Okay. So Jagwant, can you expand the NYDC? The above one, yeah. So nothing added there as well. So this means that it's not added successfully. So NYDC, nothing got added. So Tor DC, if you're so let's go to E6I01 directly, Jagwan. So Brahim is showing NYDC has an IP and a machine. That's good. So you're good, Brahim.
So Toronto DC doesn't have anything underneath. I did it again the second time and it's not working.
Then sign out from the that administrator at vsphere.local and then sign in again. And close the browser as well. First sign out, then close the browser, then open the browser, sign in, and check.
Okay.
Oh, so Jagwan, yours seems okay. In fact, refresh the browser. Let's go back to the server 2 and first, refresh the browser, this one. And if it is not showing that, sometimes the browser does not update all the settings. So either we sign out and then sign in and then it shows that it's fully added, or we may have to remove it and then add it again. So it's refreshing. Oh, you got both. That's good. So it was just refreshing.
Can you please connect to me, sir? It's not giving me. It's giving me error
When
message
did you
at the
refresh
bottom.
the call?
Yes, I just signed out. I'm signing back. Same.
Okay, so bring your machine there. Very welcome. Who else? Oh, Khalid. Khalid, what happened? Okay, so yeah, Paul is giving me access now. Yeah.
So it's giving me this error message, yeah?
Okay.
I don't know why. So under NYDC, it shows the what's it called, but under TOLC, no.
So try to add again.
So I did this, add the host.
Why is it showing 203 error? Okay, just go for yeah. Alright.
Two dot 168.200.3.
No, 4. 3 is added already.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Come on,
Guess I was-
man.
Sorry, my head was.
Okay, who's next? Khalid, you can connect. You can share your screen in Webex.
Okay, Amir, so in this add host process where it says lockdown mode,
Normal.
so what do I select there? It's currently selected on disabled. So will it be like that, or I need to change it to normal or strict?
Normal.
Normal, right? Okay.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you.
Okay, is Khalid there? Okay, anyone else?
So when I place a cursor on just above my EXXI02, which is added under NYDC, it shows disconnected.
Yeah, refresh the browser. 500. Khalid, you can share the screen in Webex. Go to the share button. Oh, it's initializing. Go for the other one. Initializing. Did you just restart now, Khalid?
I had the same error actually. I waited for 20 minutes. Then after restarting, waited for 20 minutes and tried up. Then it came up.
Okay, so this machine is Khalid's machine, right? Okay. And okay, so Sandeep is saying that it worked after waiting 20 minutes. Okay. And Khalid, you can go to the other one, this one, and try to refresh vsphere-client Khalid 002.number.local. So Khalid, did you restart and waited 20 minutes and after that you're doing this, or because 1 minute earlier and it might not work? Okay, just kidding. But anyway, the thing is that we have to be very patient the first time. So, well, Khalid is not talking. Khalid, you have a mic? Or you're very shy to share your voice? Or you can write. Okay, well, actually it's not giving me control, but I'll try.
Don't restart the VM. It's gonna take time to initialize, and after that, it can connect.
So it's just more waiting for Khalid, right? Cannot contact specified host.
Yes.
So,
Madhuri, can you share your screen?
you're not. Hello? Hello?
Yes. So Madhuri, you can share your screen. In Webex. No, it's
Hello.
hello. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's quite distorted, but yeah.
It wasn't working before. So okay.
So it's yeah. Main thing is that if it requires a wait. So guys, there's a wait time for this application is really. Okay, so there's that. Oh, Madhuri has given the. Madhuri, can you share it on Webex here? You can just click the share button here. And
So this Webex is on another PC and my VM is on other PC. Can I give you my? I've shared my team viewer though.
I hope I'm not banned from TeamViewer. I'll check it again now. And ouch, our system has detected blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay, I'm connected.
It's 192072790.
Yeah, I put that, and I just need the password, which is here. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, again. And so, Madhuri, can you? Oh, E6A1. You're adding E6A1. So it's not started.
No.
Ha ha ha. How can you connect when it is not started? So that's like 20 samosas now. You have to power on.
No, I mean it just started. It's there in the.
So go to
I
E6A1.
don't. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, it kicked me out. I think
It is working.
yeah. Oh, it's okay. So just power on and then connect. So 25 samosas
But
for disconnecting me as well. Just kidding. Okay. So yeah. So and Amarjeet is saying, sir, under NYDC, which A6i server connected, like E6i1 or E6i2? NYDC E6i2, but if you are connected with E6i1 under NYDC, it's okay. Whichever hypervisor in whichever data center, it's just okay. We just need to know that how to add a hypervisor to a data center, right? Okay, guys, so we're kind of back here. And we need to go ahead. Your dedication, I really salute your dedication and patience. In production environments, this kind of patience is really required. But obviously, you have to really give your full effort on understanding that and trying to do that this lab again and again. And mastering all those troubleshooting issues and trying to have more options of troubleshooting, because there's a lot of trouble to shoot. Khalid is saying, sir, actually I was waiting for more than an hour. What? And still the same issue. I need to know if it's a memory issue or I need to start everything again. No, don't start everything again. Khalid, if it's wow, more than an hour, then restart and wait for 20 minutes. Did I say that? If it's not changing, and refresh, and browser close and then open, browser close and open is not working. Normally what I do in this kind of RAM situation is it's not issue of RAM like permanent issue. It gets resolved. It's just that we have to trigger everything again or refresh everything again, and that refresh everything again means that restart and then wait 20 minutes and then try again. If for 1 hour it's not, it's basically RAM is too low. But the whole last course with the 29 students, only one student actually did not upgrade his RAM, so otherwise it worked fine for everyone. It's just that the first time it's a lot of patience is required, and then we're gonna suspend the machine, so it's not gonna be. Oh, yours is 16 GB. Oh yeah, everyone's is here is 16 GB. Majority of us. So it's working fine. It's just that they restarted again and then waited for 20 minutes whenever it did not work after 20 minutes. So it's kind of a cycle that patiently has to be followed with this kind of RAM. No, like the server 2 has 6 GB RAM, right? Server 2 should be having 16 GB RAM or 32 GB RAM of its own. Server 2. In production environment, it is 32 or 64 GB RAM or something like that. Just server 2. We are dividing the whole thing among others. So, right guys, well, hey, break is over already. So, Khalid, we can, the thing is that it's, if I connect to your machine, I'm gonna just restart and then wait for 20 minutes and watching it. And that, I know you did that, but if it's not working, then do that again and it will work. For majority of the students, it works. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, whose mic is on? Okay, so guys, here, let's try to, it takes ages, but it works. There you go. So that's a very positive comment here. So the thing is that you never gave up, and that's what I salute Madhuri as well, that you never gave up. So that's very good. Although you said that in the chat, you gave up, right? So 25 samosas for that. Oh, just kidding. So okay, let's go ahead and so guys, what we need to do is, if I go for, and this everyone can do because this does not involve directly the vCenter as much, but we need that vCenter started up. We're gonna go to server 1 now. We need to provide the actual software SAN to the whole virtualization environment. We're going to provide, first we're going to go to server 1. We're going to add 3 disks, each 300 GB each, and then we're going to format them with NTFS file system locally. We're going to format them, then we're going to convert them to iSCSI. What is iSCSI? So ISCSI. So iSCSI protocol lets you share.
So this is not your screening, I think. This is not your screen.
This is not my screen. You're not able to see my screen? Oh. Oh, did I... Oh, this is not my screen. So if I'm explaining that, it's Shabina's screen you're seeing right now, right? Ouch. Thank you for...
Right. You are writing in OneDrive.
So... it is Jagwan said, and then Kavita said. So okay, sorry guys, I did not see that. So I'm just gonna share my screen, then I'm gonna connect to Shabina's screen. So to do the practical, right? Sorry about that, and I didn't realize that. Thank you for letting me know. So what I'm explaining here is that we're going to connect our, and yeah, I'll double check the recording. Yes, it is recording. And what's going on? Yeah, it's recording. Okay, so what I'm saying here, that we're gonna add on server 1 3 disks here, and each disk will be 300 GB, and then we're gonna format them with NTFS file system and everything, and then we're going this is just normal, just like you add certain disks to a Windows machine, right? So we format them, and once it is formatted, all 3 disks, then we're going to convert them to iSCSI, ISCSI. So what is iSCSI going to offer? So these disks are local right now on server 1 after formatting them with NTFS. But once you convert them to iSCSI one by one, So then you can, exactly as Brahim said, you can share it. So that you can share the full disk to any machine. You can attach that full disk even to other Windows machines, right? So when I was in Scotiabank, so there we had 32 Exchange servers or 28 Exchange servers like that, and each Exchange server or email server had at least 100 extra over the network shared disks called LANs. So 100 shared disks were there, and if you logged into that server, it would look like that they are local disks. They are actually locally available, or on the physical server they are there, but you can't attach actually 100 200 disks to a physical server. Physically it's not possible, or the server will be so big, right? So one of my students was saying that he has in IBM he's seen 60 disks server that was quite big, and their tray would come out and then you would put disk 1 2 3 4. But 100 or 200 disks you can't do that. So you have to go to SAN solution there, where there are hundreds of disks are separately available. I think I've shown that in the diagram as well. So SAN solution would be like this. So it would be 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, $500,000 solution for SAN. You would see rows and rows and rows of disks there, right? So we're gonna have a software SAN, obviously, and the only purpose of that is to provide disks over the network. So when the virtual machine is created, its virtual disk should not be created on a local disk. Its virtual disk should be created on a shared disk over the network, or LANs. So if the virtual machine's virtual disk is on LAN, so anyone can tell me the benefits of that? What will be the first benefit that comes to your mind, that the virtual machine's virtual disk is on actually a shared disk over the network and not on a local disk? What is the first benefit that comes to your mind?
In case of a failure, we can actually hop on to another hypervisor without jeopardizing the disk.
Exactly. So in case of a failure, this ESXi full crashes, suppose, or shuts down. So the disk was never there, right? It was actually here, and this disk or LAN or shared disk over the network is actually connected not only to this hypervisor, it is also connected to this hypervisor. So that virtual disk of a virtual machine is still accessible from this hypervisor as well if the first hypervisor goes down, right? So that same LAN or shared disk is actually connected to both hypervisors. If anyone goes down, it's still accessible from the other hypervisor. So that's the first benefit that we see from there. And the comment, Shabina says, shared disk can be shared by anyone on the network. Exactly. Second benefit. So what would be the second benefit there? That you can vMotion or migrate the machine quickly from one hypervisor to another without moving your virtual disk. Virtual disk could be 100 GB, 200 GB, even 1 terabyte, right? No downtime. Exactly. Shavina says no downtime for migration, right? No downtime. Oh, downtime. Okay, so no downtime for migration. Why? Okay, why even that? So it is, this virtual machine is living on RAM, right? It starts on RAM, it works on RAM. So the contents of the RAM or whatever virtual machine is doing, the activity of the virtual machine, that is very less data, right? So the less data can travel fast over the network to another hypervisor's RAM, while the more data the virtual machine, that is like 500 GB, suppose 200, even 100 GB is too much. If it had to travel, then it will take hours, right? 1 GB, 2 GB is no problem, but 100 GB or 80 GB or 120 or 200 GB, that's gonna take hours. So that is unacceptable in a production environment, right? So that's why the second benefit is you can do vMotion over that. And then third benefit is FT, fault tolerance. So active machine, virtual machine is here, and passive machine is here. In that case, also this passive or the partner or standby virtual machine of this active virtual machine, its virtual disk is actually on the other LAN here or shared disk, right? So if this LUN somehow goes down and this shared server also goes down, or anyone goes down, so this standby machine will have that on the other shared disk or LUN, right? So these are some of the benefits. So that's why it's critical to introduce the software SAN, in our case software SAN or SAN solution here. And later we're going to talk about vSAN as well. That is for smaller companies or companies with less budget, that they are really going for vSAN than if they can't afford to have a SAN solution, which is thousands and thousands of dollars. So the benefits you see already, that of a shared disk. So let's start creating that. Let's introduce the SAN into the environment now. We already have a vCenter, and then we already have that. And so now we are back to our machine here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to server 1, and what we're going to do, we're going to add 3 disks of 300 GB. Now 300 GB is not a confirm or hard and fast, it's just 300 GB, right? So let's be consistent on that. You can add 400 GB as well. Don't add 200 GB because already there is 200 GB we have in our environment, right? So how do we do that? We can right click on the machine, go to settings, and then click the add button here, and then we can once you click the add button, so hard disk is already selected here, right? And then click next. So it's going to be SCSI, which is okay, and we don't have to change that. SCSI, with SCSI you can add a lot of types of disks there, so it's okay. So keep it SCSI and then click next. And yes, it's going to be create a new virtual disk, so that's okay. Click next. Here we can give 300 GB just to keep it different from the disk that we already have, which is 200 GB, right? So Shabina, you also have NVMe disks there, right? So I don't think it's gonna let you create SCSI, but let's go ahead and check it out. 300 GB is there. Do not click the allocate all disk space. Do not click that. Why? Because it's gonna make it thick provisioned, which is not what we want. This is on server 1. So Ibrahim, this is on server 1. Everyone, this is on server 1. We're introducing SAN, software SAN on server 1. Okay guys, so and all of them Paul says come again. This is on server 1. Paul, was that what you wanted? All of them says, but hard disk is NVMe. If I choose SCSI, it will not be available even if I add it. Yes, if it is NVMe disk that you have, then you have to shut down the machine and add the 3 NVMe's and then power on. That's how it works with NVMe. You have to shut down server 1 and then add 3 NVMe. If it is not NVMe, it is just disk, then you can add while the server is on. If any says that on the Active Directory, yes, on server 1. If any, it's on server 1, which has Active Directory, yes. Kavita says, can you repeat these steps? Oh, okay. So Shabina cancel, and then cancel, yeah. Right click on server 1. So guys, everyone, this is server 1, and make sure your server 1 is up. Make sure this is oxygen of the environment. You cannot shut down server 1. Well, Shabina will have to now, but let's go for right click and settings, and then Kavita, it's click add, and those who were following, if any, and hard disk is there, and click next. SCSI, those who don't have NVMe, go ahead and select SCSI. I think Shabina will have to shut down after she sees the error here, but we haven't seen the error yet, so let's click next after keeping it SCSI, and create a new virtual disk. So that's okay, and next, and then yeah, the size will be 300 GB here. I hope everyone is following. And we're not gonna click the allocate all disk space because it's gonna be thick provision. We want to keep it as thin provision. So do not select allocate all disk, and select the store virtual disk as a single file, right? So store virtual disk as a single file and 300 GB, but do not click that allocate all disk space now. Keep it unchecked. Can you repeat these steps? Oh, I think that's the old message from Kavita. Okay, so yeah, and then do not change this name here. If you want to change it, it's okay. If you don't want to change it, it's okay. Not changing is better, and it doesn't really matter because it's the outside VMDK disk of this virtual machine. So whatever name is there is okay with us. So let's click finish here. So one disk has been added. Now Shabina, you can press OK to just check, because I think you have to add all 3 again. If you press OK, does it let you do that while the machine is on? What? It lets you. Hey, that's new for me. Okay, you have a more expensive machine, I guess. Okay. No, it's not going to show here because we haven't formatted it. But let's add the other two disks as well. So settings again, and let's go to add. This is strange. How come? Okay, and disk. Shabina's machine is special. Yeah, she has friends in high places in NVMe market. I'm not sure which NVMe disk she took, but wow. In fact, she should share that secret. How come? How is it working? Okay, so yeah, the disk sharing, I hope everyone knows now. And Shabina is adding the second disk, and then we add the third disk. And hard disk is all selected because he's selected. And then create new virtual disk, 300 GB. See the patience of a student and patience of a teacher, right? She's going so fast. I'm going so slow at these speeds. But anyway, that's good. If anyone's following, that's good. So, so that's, thank you very much for this, and press OK for, guys, you all see 300 GB disks. That's good. Hopefully everyone was able to add 300 GB disks. Device because he cannot be hot added. So if you also have NVMe, but I don't know how it worked with Shabina's machine, but with NVMe we have to shut down and add 3 disks and then power on.
Sir, I just bought the machine one day prior to the labs.
Wow. Okay. So it is the latest test machine. So it has to be 4 tests for it to work. Okay.
So do we need to restart the machine after adding everything?
No, we don't need to restart. So guys, we need to format the disks. Remember how to format a disk in Windows? So we go to tools and we go to computer management. There it is. We go to tools. Brahim says put disk online and format them. Yes, exactly, Brahim. That's exactly what we're doing. So we're going to go to tools and computer management, as you can see in the screen. Tools and computer management. And once you have clicked that, then you can see disk management on the left side. Yay! So it's going to be the second last one, disk management. Hopefully everyone's following, and you're able to follow. And then disk 1, you can see it's red, so we can right click on top of disk 1, on the left side, on the disk 1, exactly, yeah, here. And you can see online here, right? So we have to first click online, and that's it. So once we click online, then again we have to right click on top of that same area to initialize the disk. So there's that initialize, and then it says disk 1. So what kind of initialization you want? MBR or master boot tracker, that is for 22 terabyte disk it supports, and GPT supports up to more than 2 terabyte or 64 or 128 terabyte. So yeah, GPT is okay. If you selected MBR and pressed OK, that is also okay. It doesn't really matter which one we select right now because our disks are not more than 2 terabyte. We don't have that issue. So yeah, GPT is okay as well. And then we go for the second disk and do exactly the same thing. Online. First we click online and then it is shutting down for no reason. What? Uh-oh. Today's our lucky day, right? I think it's shutting down because maybe it was not activated, right? So it happens that if it's not activated,
Mine didn't shut down. It worked fine.
yours didn't shut down. Maybe yours is activated, like you've activated it for forever, I guess. So, but this does not happen when we do this. So today is my error day. Oh, Mallory, you got another error? MBR or GPT? Yeah, it's okay, GPT, all of ME. Although MBR is okay. If you selected MBR, it's okay. It doesn't apply to us, and GPT doesn't apply to us. So Madhuri, my system itself is also, I'm like, you can see that Shabina is, I'm connected to Shabina's computer. So, so yeah, we need patience. But guys, the main request is that please try to understand all the concepts. That's the most important thing. That will get you the job. The correct concepts will get you the job. Click, click, click can be done anytime later. Once you have understood, click, click, click like this can be done anytime. But if you haven't understood, then we are not getting the job. Okay. So, and we have to be, Brahim, we're not going to create RAID 5. I know we enabled or put online and initialized 3 disks, and it actually shows RAID 5. But we need 3 separate disks. Oh, see Shabina on the right side above the clock, it says expired, right? So was that a trial version? If that's a trial version, you can just add a second network card and connect it to NAT and keep it connected, and it will automatically download and activate your second your machine. Otherwise, every half an hour it's going to shut down now. So just add a second network card by going to the server 1 again, settings. No, just add a second network card with NAT. Yeah. And network adapter, 4th one, yeah, this one, and finish. So it's already on NAT, which is good. So let's press OK only. And what we're expecting is as soon as it gets internet, so we will wait 10 or 15 seconds, then you can refresh on the desktop area, minimizing everything. So it's connected to internet now, which is okay. So it's gonna automatically download that activation software or files in the background. If it's a trial version, it's gonna activate for 6 months. So now right click on this no, 0. Why 0 is, whoa, okay. 0 should not be like this. Whoa, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, initialize. Okay, so disk 1. Yeah, let's not touch disk 0. Disk 0 has your operating system. I don't know why it's even showing like that. Yeah. Okay, press OK. Shabina, can you close this and then come back again? Yeah, close it, because this 0 is showing as unformatted while it is having an operating system. So that's really, really weird. So today is like error day. But, oh, shoot. Okay, we will not touch this 0 at all, but we can go for other disks. It's 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, the numbering has changed. I get it. This is also new. So this 0 has become this 3 actually. So that's weird. Okay, so this means 0, 1, 2 is your new disks now. C drive is disk 3. Okay, then we can go for. Now if you have right click, then turned on and then initialized all 3, now we can go to the other side. No, on the unallocated space. Unallocated space, Shabina. Not this one. Yeah, on the unallocated, where it is written unallocated. Yeah, this one. Above the empty area. Yes, this one. So we're going to separately format all the disks because we need 3 separate shared disks, right? So go to this first one, which is new simple volume. Exactly this one. So each disk we have to format separately. Kavita says my disks are not visible in disk management. So Kavita, did you add it on server 1 or 2? So make sure right click on server 1 and then check. I think the disks were not added, or at the end of the adding 3 disks, by mistake you may have clicked cancel. So that's why it's not sure. So Shabina is actually clicking that. So that's good. It's 300 GB showing, so no change here. So we just need to format separately 3 disks. So yeah, you can click next here. And yes, it is going to be E drive, which is okay. And next. And that's it. It's going to be formatted, but you can see a volume label here, right? Volume label can be LON 0. So that would be the first shared disk over the network. And that's it. So we just name it. Suppose you forgot to name it, you can name it anytime later as well. So don't worry about, oh, I didn't name it. So let's click next. So yeah, we can put caps here and finish. So that's how we're gonna format separately all 3 newly added disks, right? And so we could one by one convert them to iSCSI later. Okay, so it's gonna be next, but it will be LON 1 this time, and it will be F drive. The second disk will be F drive. It will be LON 1. We're gonna keep that naming consistency throughout, because we're going to be sharing them one by one to the two machines. And I have to go to disk 0, which is really weird for me, but since disk 3 is already C drive, so we're okay. Yeah.
Sir, I'm getting options like new span volume, striped volume, mirror volume, RAID
So
5.
try to not right click on the left side. Try to go to the middle of that, on the right side, the unallocated white area there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
click,
okay, sir. Got it.
and then the top option there.
Yeah, okay.
And in the volume label, so we're gonna consistently give the name 1011 on 2, right? And that's it. So hopefully everyone was able to see that procedure of formatting the local disks. So yeah, now in this PC you should be seeing exactly like this: E drive, F drive, G drive. Yeah. So but these are local disks, and they're not shared yet over the network because we haven't converted these disks to iSCSI disks, right? So once we convert them, then we can share them over the network. So is everyone able to do these three, or those who are able to follow have done this steps? Yes. Oh, okay. So since you all said yes, so there's the yes. Oh, okay. Cool. Wow. Now, guys, please do mute your mics. Oh, okay. Who else? Okay, guys. So what we need to do is we need to add a feature in Windows that is called iSCSI. Got the list misformatting. Oh, okay. So yeah, Kabita, you know how to format. So hopefully you know. Shabina has been showing that. So guys, we need to add a feature called iSCSI. That is not added already. So how do we add roles and features in Windows? We normally go to Server Manager, and then we go to okay. So we will go to Server Manager on Server 1, and then we're going to go to add roles and features there, and then we're going to add a feature called iSCSI there, right? So we need to, if you have formatted the 3 disks there, then you go to Server Manager like this, and then go to add roles and features. And once you go to add roles and features, then click next here, and yeah, so role based or feature based is okay. We can click next here as well. Hopefully you're following. And then it's yes, the server name is correct. It's the first server. So click next here as well. Yeah, we're good. And now here, because it's not a role, is kind of a, it's always a big task going on. Feature is normally a small one, but here the role you can see is file and storage services role, which has only 2 out of 12 features selected here. File and storage services, right? So we're going to extend the file and iSCSI services, and there you can see iSCSI target server. So that's the only one. iSCSI target server is the only one that we're going to select. The other one is not needed, as we're not storing the Microsoft Storage Provider related information. So iSCSI target server, if you have selected from here, so what is the difference between? So that's gonna come in the storage topic, Rahim. But MPIO, you can just have 2 paths there, multiple paths of storage there, and iSCSI is just sharing the disks over the network. The difference between that is that MPIO offers redundancy as well between the storage paths, while iSCSI is just separate connections. Okay, so here, iSCSI target server, if you selected that, then click next, and that's it. Next, finish. So that's all we are going to select here, but this is going to offer us a very important feature. You need some updates. Yeah, it's okay. Install. Yeah, let's click install now from here, And yeah, so while this is going on, Shabina, you can minimize everything and go to the desktop area of this machine. Of no, this sorry, minimize everything within server 2 only. Yeah, within server 2. No. So the server 2 where we are working right now. Yeah, minimize inside the server 2. Yeah, minimize this. Yes, and minimize this as well. Oh, there's no minimize. Oh yeah, this is this is where we are. So you can see on the bottom right, Shabina, that above the clock you can see valid for 168 days. Now it's not gonna shut down, so it's not expired anymore. So that's good. So that's what I wanted to confirm. Thank you. And yeah, we're good. So we can keep going on. And yeah, so iSCSI services are installed. Hopefully it is installed for everyone, guys, because we need to convert one by one each local disk to iSCSI disk. And for that, there is some terminology that I want you to know. So while we are here, I'm just going to switch to my screen just to show the diagram now, that what is the terminology we are about to see now and what is the meaning of that, right? So I'm just going to share my screen for a moment, then we're going to go back to we'll stop sharing. Okay. So I'm just sharing my screen temporarily here just to show some terminology of storage that we're about to do here. Now there is a terminology called so there's a target and there is initiator, right? So what is the difference between the two? If you already know that, where it's just a discussion, I'm gonna tell you anyway. But if you've heard about that terminology in the storage, what does target do and what does initiator do? Ever heard of that before? So target in a storage is it offers disks or storage over the network. Target offers this. So what does initiator do? The opposite of that. Initiator, it requests the disks or storage over the network, right? So now target offers the disk and initiator requests the disk. So in our diagram, can you just quickly guess which machine or machines are target and which machine or machines are initiators, are going to be initiators, if you see this diagram right now? Who will be target, who will be initiator in among these four machines? So Shabina says target equals server 1. Ajibolo says target equals server 1. Initiator equals server 1 initiator. All of them says. Shabina says initiator E6i server. Ajibolo says initiator E6i 1 and 2. Brahim says DC is the target. So there are many suggestions here, guys, according to what we are doing now. And yes, exactly as you said. So target offers the disk, right? So we have created 3 disks. So these disks could be offered over the network, right? So exactly as you said, target is server 1, which is offering the disk. So yes, it's target normally means it's, you know, some kind of destination or somewhere we reach, but target is here in storage offering the disks, and initiators are just these two guys. E6i1, E6i2 are both. Or suppose you had 200 hypervisors, so all 200 hypervisors will be initiators, and target is that, suppose you purchase this very expensive storage here, SAN storage from HP, so then this is the target because it's offering the storage, and initiators are all those servers to which the disks will be mapped as LUNs, right? So that's what we're about to see here. It's going to now ask for initiators and target. So we're going to see this terminology now. So you should understand first that target offers disks and initiators request disk. So you're about to see that now. Okay, so what we're about to do is we're going to simply convert one by one So we're going to convert this first disk to iSCSI disk and share. It also asks during that wizard, hey, which machines are going to get this disk over the network? So we're going to specifically mention the IP addresses of E6I1, E6I2. So these IP addresses are supposed to get these disks over the network. So this is very good security feature as well. So it's not like any other machine can come up and grab those disks over the network as well. So whichever during the wizard, whichever IP addresses you're allowing, only those will get the disk. So let's convert the first disk and create the target as well, define the target, name the target as well, and then we're going to add the other disk to the same target. So you're going to see that now happening. So let's go ahead and go to our network. Thank you.
Sir?
Yep.
Sir? Sorry, so my server 01 restarted itself, and now that it's back on, under this PC, is not displaying the created hard disk, the 300 hard disk that we created. But I went into server file manager storage. It's showing the 300 hard disk offline. Can I bring them online?
Oh yes, if they are offline, so bring them online and initialize and then format them one by one.
Okay.
But did you do that before as well when we were doing that?
Yes, I did. I formatted everything. All of a sudden, it's not showing. It restarted itself. I came back and now it's not showing them. So I went to server manager. Then it shows the other 3 disks are offline.
Okay.
Now I brought them online and
Formatted then. If you put them online, you don't have to actually format them.
Okay.
Because if they are formatted, so you have to go to yellow folder after that or File Explorer and go to this PC and check if 3 disks are showing when you brought them online. Right after that.
Now showing. Yes.
In
Now showing.
File Explorer. Like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Now showing.
So you're
Yes. All right.
Oh, but your
Thank
machine is also gonna it is expired, and you need to add a second network card just like Shabina did. You have to add a second network card with NAT and keep it added. After 10 or 20 seconds, it's gonna be activated for 6 months. Right?
Yeah, so I have it activated for active for 159 days.
Oh, you have that. Oh, okay.
Oh no, sorry, it's not showing. It's changed. It's changed. It's now expired.
Oh.
All right, I'll go change.
Yeah, so just add a second network
It was
card.
showing 159
If it
days.
is connected to the internet, it's gonna automatically activate.
Okay.
So guys, hopefully everyone has added. Okay, so here are the questions you need to add. That is use. So all of them. Oh yeah, he was saying that. And which roles we need to install only iSCSI one? Yes, Iman. We have to add only iSCSI server role. That's all. And next finish. Okay. So some are trying to reach to this page. That's very good. I salute your dedication. We never give up. So where do we need to go to add each disk one by one to iSCSI? So for that we need to okay, sorry. So hopefully everyone's there. And Anthony says Vcenter. No, we're not gonna go to Vcenter. Sorry, guys. So now we need to go to iSCSI. So for that, we need to go to Server Manager here. So we need to go to the Windows Server Manager, this one. And do you see there on the left side, File and Storage Services? On the left side, yeah, this one. File and Storage Services in under the Server Manager in Server 1. In Server 1. We're still in Server 1, right? Once you click that, you can see iSCSI somewhere here, right? So yes, we see iSCSI. Hopefully everyone was able to see the iSCSI in Server 1 in storage, file and storage services here. And yeah, exactly. Thank you for repeating that. So file and storage services and then iSCSI. And then once you're on iSCSI, now we're gonna go, there is that option there or the URL there showing to create an iSCSI virtual disk, start the new iSCSI virtual disk wizard here. Hopefully everyone's seeing that. So we're going to click this one. So this will be our first disk that we will be converting to iSCSI disk, right? Or we will be making it as a LAN or shared disk over the network. So we're gonna click the first E drive. Anyone knows that should we click C drive or should we click E drive? Can anyone tell me which one should we click and why? Okay, so E we can click, but why? Why not C? EFG, there you go. Okay, so pretty much everyone has a clear idea. C is this system, exactly. So C is having our operating system. We cannot touch that, but you can see that, you know, we have to be very careful about that. So if we have clicked the E drive, that's very good, and let's click next. And then in the name, we can put LON 0. So we're gonna be consistent in that. LON 0 would be E drive here as well, right? So LON 0 here, and then we go for next if you have put in that name. And it's just asking that, hey, do you want to use the full 300 GB or you want to use half of it, or you know, quarter of it? So we're gonna go for full 300 GB here. So we're just gonna type the whole size here. Yes, Jagwant is asking what name. So name is LON 0 or yeah, LON 0, exactly. Logical unit number 0, exactly. And exactly, so Brahim is there. Now we're gonna make sure that it is dynamically expanding selected here. So Microsoft calls thin provision as dynamically expanding and thick provision as fixed disks, right? So we're gonna make sure that it is dynamically expanding because we need space, right? Fixed disk or thick provision is better in performance. So in production environment, you're gonna go for fixed disk or thick provision. But in test environments where performance is not an issue, so you go for thin provision or dynamically expanding, but it is slower. Exactly. Oh, there you go. Yay! You see that? Cool. There you go. Zero kata. No. Yeah, so that's very good. And thank you for this. So now we understand that 300 GB and no fixed disk, but dynamically expanding. If we all get that, then click next. Thank you. And now we need to create, okay, so what it's asking is, it's saying, hey, give us a target name. So it says, oh, you're about to create a target. This means you're about to offer disks over the network. So you have to give a name to the target. So that's why, well, there's no other option other than new iSCSI target here. So we're okay with that, and we can click next. Now we need to give a name. So this, with the help of this name, over the network, devices can actually search. So you can create multiple targets as well. Suppose we create sales disks target, suppose. So sales, there are 4 servers who need disks from sales disk target. Then suppose we also create marketing disk targets later. So they can also, marketing machines, those machines which are belonging to marketing department, they can actually search that target. Oh, that's marketing target. Okay, so sales target, under that we can add as many disks. Suppose you've added all SSD drives or HD drives, or you have added 200 300 drives just under sales target. And then in marketing department, they also added 300 drive or 400 drive there under marketing disk targets. So target lets you over the network search all the disks under it. Target is the name. Behind it, we can attach as many disks. So whichever machine finds the target and attaches to that target. So suppose with that target we had 400 disks, right? So whichever machine finds this target and attaches to it will get 400 disks that are attached to this target, right? So you're gonna see that how it really happens, but we have to give a name to the target, right? So we can get any target 1. We can just name it target 1 right now, as you can name it anything you want, right? So let's name it target 1, or that's it. So let's type target 1, and then this target 1 is just our target that will have 3 disks attached to it. Later, maybe you want to add 300 more disks, you can attach it to the target 1 as well. But how do we later attach? I'm going to show you that too, or we're going to do that too. So target 1 is created, and then let's click next. So now it's asking, hey, who are the initiators? Who are the requesters of the disks over the network? So we're going to tell them, okay, let me give you the IP of those machines who are going to be the initiators or requesting the disks. So let's click add here at the bottom. Now there are several ways to add those machines, but we can go for the easiest one, and that is down there where you see IQ and written. If you drop down that drop down here, so you can see IP address written there. This is the fastest way to detect the machines or communicate with that machine. Otherwise, DNS name, IQN is the storage name for that. MAC address is MAC address and DNS name. So we can go for IP address, which is the fastest way to talk about or tell which machine we need to connect or which machines are initiators. So obviously our E6i1 and E6i2 are the initiators. So one IP address at a time we can give and press OK. So if you give the correct IP address here, then you can simply press OK and then come back here and go for the other IP address. Make sure your IP address is correct. Okay, not DNS name, but IP address. No. Shabina, they change the DNS name to IP address on the left side. Yeah. So guys, make sure on the left side it is showing IP address. Sometimes by mistake, if we do not change the left side one, so it will never connect to the hypervisor, right? So that's 200.4 here. So now you can see the two initiators. Suppose there were 200 IP hypervisors there, you would have added then 200 IP addresses if they were all taking part, or the storage or the LANs would be connecting to all 200. You have to add all the 200 hypervisors IP address or DNS name, however you want to go. We're not adding DNS in the in this whole thing, because if our DNS is down, then we will lose communication. So that's why IP based is the fastest one right now. You can follow your company compliance policies if the DNS has to be added or must be added. Suppose the company insists, then you can add that. So guys, if everyone has added that, make sure on the left side IP address is showing in both places, and make sure on the right side your correct IP address is showing for only the hypervisors. Do not add the IP addresses of server 1 and server 2, right? So that would be it. Hopefully everyone has. If this has not been added correctly, obviously your hypervisor will never get those disks. So make sure no mistake had happened here, and let's click next. Once we go here, now this is enable chap and enable reverse chap. So this is an extra security. First of all, it's challenge handshake authentication protocol, and second thing is the password inside is actually a clear text password. So that's not good, right? Clear text. So already this environment is inside our network, and second thing is we already have Active Directory there. Third thing is we may have IPS or IDS devices, intrusion prevention system and intrusion detection system. So all the security devices are. So this is just an extra security. Enable chap just means that when the target is offering the disks to the initiator, so the password, username password will prompt here. You need to put the username password. Sometimes even when you put 2 or 3 times, then it accepts that. So it's quite annoying. And enable reverse chap is when initiators from initiator side, if you're requesting the disks from the target, so it's gonna prompt for the password. So this is an extra security that we don't have to go for, but it is there as an extra layer that hey, whoever is requesting, please put this username password as well. We don't have to go for that. So there's that PAP and CHAP. Yeah, exactly as Brian said. So password authentication protocol, PAP and CHAP is challenge handshake authentication protocol. Alright guys, so we're not gonna select these two because even in the lab, if it pops up 2 or 3 times, even after giving the correct password, so that's pretty annoying. But we get to know that it's an extra security. If you want in your company, you can just put it there. So let's click next without configuring anything here. Thank you. And now you can see the summary that you are able to see that the target was created. Now target name was defined only the first time here. Next two disks, when we convert to iSCSI, we don't have to create a new target. We will be only adding the other two disks to the same target called target 1, right? So you can add to this target even 200 disks or 2000 disks later. Whoever connects to this target will get all the disks that have been added to this target. Plus disk, yeah, exactly. So when you plus or add the disks, you can just add it to this target. You can create multiple targets as well, but that's theoretical. I'm saying there. Obviously, you can do that if you want. So target 1 is created, and one disk has been added. The other two disks have to be added to this same existing target now, right? So if we get that, so let's click the create button now, and we're going to be. So we're creating the target, yay! Woohoo! Okay, so here, let's click close. And then, now we need to add the second and third disk to the same target, target 1. This time we don't need to define even the initiator or the target. So we can right click on this white area anywhere and then add a disk that, say, you can see here, new iSCSI virtual disk. Actually, it's going to be new, yeah. So we're going to create or convert a new iSCSI virtual disk from a local disk, right? So let's click that, new iSCSI virtual disk. And now this time we're going to go for F drive. Yay. And yeah, it's one at a time. If we can do it, there's no way. Maybe there's a PowerShell script for that, but yeah, it's one at a time with GUI options. Okay, so disk F has been selected and click next. And it's going to be consistently named as LON 1 now. And click next, and then there is 300. Yes, we're going to use the full size, and we're going to keep it dynamically expanding or thin provisioned. We need to save space, but at the cost of performance. Okay, let's click next, and yes, now it is the existing target. We do not have to click new iSCSI target. We're going to just go for existing target with correct, and just double check your IP addresses again, and double check that the left side, the IP address is written there, and DNS name or IQN or MAC address is not written there. It's just IP address written there, right? If that's the case, then we're good. So second disk will be added easily to the target 1 as well. And whichever machine connects to target 1 will get all 3 disks. Or suppose you added 30 disks, it will get 30 disks. So yes, let's click next and then click create. So now the second disk just got added to the same target, and this is how we're going to add the third disk to the same target as well. And yeah, so it will be G drive and it will be consistently named as 1, 2 exactly. And next, and yeah, the 300 GB and dynamically expanding, and then existing target, yay! Woohoo, yay! And yeah, create, that's it. So hopefully this process was correctly done. I understand that mistakes can happen. The IP address might be, even in some classes I say, hey, they could not connect to the hypervisor. The machines, the 3 disks are not showing to the hypervisors. So when we come back and they have looked 2, 3, 4 times, and when I look and the IP address is wrong, and the student says, I looked here 5 times, 10 times, IP address it appeared to be same. So it happens. Okay, anyway, so guys, hopefully this work has been done. So we have configured the target that is offering the 3 iSCSI disks or LUNs over the network to the 2 hypervisors. So the server side or the SAN side is done. Now the initiator side is remaining. We need to attach this storage to the 2 hypervisors. And how are we going to do that? Our Vcenter will help us do that. Yay! So this means now we need to go to the Vcenter. So Shabina, were you able to check if the server 1 is showing above the clock, right bottom, it is showing 168 days or 170 days? Otherwise, if it goes down, our vCenter will not work. Oh, 180 days. Okay, now we're good. Cool. Thank you. And yes, so guys, we can go to the vCenter now, because the next stage is to add the two hypervisors. Well, we have added the hypervisors. Actually, add the disks to the two hypervisors, right? So if you're all on the vCenter, so we're gonna go to the disks normally are added on the hypervisor level, right? So this means that we don't have to go to data center, we don't have to go to server 2 there, but we have to go to the hypervisor level, which is E6i1 or E6i2. So we can first go to E6i1 or 200.3. Oh, sorry, within the vCenter, yeah. So we're gonna go down to host and clusters, where we are already, yeah. And then on the left side under Tor DC or wherever your E6i1 is. So some of us might have added 200.3 to NYDC. It is okay. Wherever you added, it's okay. So we can go to whichever hypervisor. I'm just going for 200.3. So let's right click. Actually, sorry, not right click. Sorry. Just left click it and then go to configure on the right side. So summary monitor. There's the configure. Hopefully everyone was able to see that configure option on the right side, and that is for the hypervisor number 1 E6i1, which is 200.3, right? So for 200.3 or E6i1, if you go to configure, so the first thing you see on the left side is storage adapters, right? Now these are a lot of windows, right? So if we can drag down recent tasks, we can drag down as well, just yeah, like this, exactly. If we can drag down, so you can see the actual window where the storage adapter is about to be added. So VMHBA1 we can see, VMHBA0 we can see. These are all the adapters which help remote storage to be connected over the network, right? So if you are on the 200.3 and then configure and then storage adapters here, when I point it here, so in the video at least it will show. So 200.3 and then configure here and then storage adapters. So we can click that green plus sign here, this one, right? So green plus sign. Now what is the purpose of that? There are two options there. One is software iSCSI adapter and the second is software FCOE or fiber channel over Ethernet adapter. So obviously if it is fiber channel over Ethernet adapter, then we have to have the fiber channel network card already added into the physical server, and we should have a fiber channel switch there, and then the fiber channel cables there, fiber optic cables there. So all that equipment, that's why the cost is always for a SAN like thousands of dollars, 80,000, 100,000, 150 or 200,000. So we don't have fiber channel over Ethernet, so we're going to go for iSCSI. Now how iSCSI works? iSCSI does let you share the disks over the network even on slower networks like Ethernet. So you have Ethernet cable like Cat5, Cat6, Cat6e cables, if you have heard about the categories of the cables there, right? So even in slower network, then you can have SAN services. It's just going to be slower than fiber optic, right? So we can select the software iSCSI adapter for that purpose. And it says that, hey, that service is not enabled. Do you want me to enable that? So you can press O and K for that. So it's going to enable software SCSI. Now that software iSCSI adapter has been added, but where is it added? You can see that VMHBA written there, right? So if you go way down or scroll down here until you see VMHBA6.5. Now you have to make sure, if you scroll down that you see VMHBA65. Yes, exactly. So you must see and select. That's the last one. So you have to scroll down until you see that, and you have to select it. So you have to click on top of that, right? So what's that? So VMHBA65 is that adapter that's going to let us search over the network any storage target that is offering LUNs or shared disks over the network. So because of this adapter, you will be able to search over the network the target if it exists offering any disks, right? If we don't add that, we have no way of searching over the network any storage target there that is offering the disks. So VHBA65 is that initiator. It's going to be helping us request a disk over the network. So this is that adapter that's going to help us over the network. Okay, so there's a screen shared by Amarjeet, and no, so Amarjeet, you have to click the green plus button and select Software iSCSI, not FCOE, but Software iSCSI adapter. So click the green plus button and select Software iSCSI adapter. Software iSCSI adapter. I hope you're able to do that. Once you click the green plus button and select the Software iSCSI adapter, then scroll down and you should be seeing that VMHBA65. This is that adapter that will initiate the request of, oh, there you go, cool, very good. So the last one, just select it. So guys, if you have selected that, and I'm also moving my mouse over there, so this is the VMHBA65, and do you see down here properties and devices and paths and targets and network port binding and advanced options? So we need to go to the targets, which is the fourth one. Why targets? This is the main purpose of coming here. This adapter helps us connect over the network any target that is offering the disks to the initiators. So this is the adapter that helps the initiators request disk by searching the target and connecting the target to this initiator. So if the target is selected, then there is dynamic discovery and there is static discovery. So we'll keep it to dynamic discovery, like if there is any dynamically created target there, just automatically discover it, right? So if you've all seen this target and dynamic discovery is already selected, then we click, there's an add button on the right side, which helps us locate the target. We know that our target is server 1, which is offering the 3 ones there, right? So, and there you go, thank you for that. And so targets, dynamic discovery, and then add button here. So let's click the add button here now. And now it's asking, hey, give me an IP or an FQDN of a target. So we have an IP of the target. It's better to connect with IP in our environment, 192.168.200. I don't know. Can you tell me? Oh, are you sure about 1? Guys, should we write here 1 or 3 or 4? Are you sure? It has to be 1, right? 2? What if you connect with FQDN? Oh, it's okay. If you any, it's okay. FQDN is also okay. So everyone is sure about 1, right? There's only one that is saying 2. There's only everyone else is 1. So yes, it is 1. 1 is offering those disks there, and you can see the port. If the firewalls were on, you had to add that port as an exception, 3260. So this means target and initiators in VMware, they communicate on port 3260. So that's good, and we're okay. If we got the correct IP address, then we can press OK, and the 3 disks better be here. So you can see as soon as you press OK, there's an orange warning there. Due to recent configuration changes, a rescan of this storage adapter is recommended. Yes, we need to rescan. Rescan is that small button exactly here beside the plus sign, exactly the small one, this one, exactly. So this is the rescan button that we need to click, the small button, the third one, that is the rescan button. And then it says scan for new storage devices or scan for new VMFS volume. So obviously we need to scan for the 3 LUNs or shared disks that are going to be here So it's going to just search on that target 3 disks. So if that is selected, yeah, we can press OK here. Now it is now we need to go to storage devices on the left side under the storage adapters. So it will be exactly this. Storage devices should show here anything started with MSFT. Storage devices is showing here anything as MSFT. If you see MSFT here and the capacity is 299.71 or just 299 here, this means all 3 disks for the first hypervisor have been detected and mapped or attached. Hopefully everyone else has seen after rescan the 3 MSFT disks there that are coming from server 1 now, right? So exactly, we need to rescan, and then the storage devices select there. After rescan, the devices better be here. So that's for sure. Yeah.
Along with the 3 hard disk, I'm getting 2 more like local VMware and local NEC VMware volumes disks.
So yeah,
Is
what
that
are those? Those are the local disks of E6i1 or whichever SSI you use. So those local disks are okay because there's hypervisor installed on those, that disk, and one is CD-ROM, one is disk, right? So yeah, so
yeah.
those are just local disks, which is okay. I mean, they are supposed to be there, but it detects extra 3 disks coming from over the network. So yeah.
Okay.
So guys, we need to do the same procedure on the second hypervisor separately. Let's do that on E6i2 now. If you have added that as a name or an IP or the other hypervisor. So it already, yeah.
So, sir, by mistake, I gave one ISKC device as 200 GB
Which is okay.
and the other
Yeah,
2 as
as
3
long as
GB.
there are 3 devices, it's okay, no problem.
Okay.
Alright guys, so let's go to the second hypervisor, and we're gonna do exactly the same task here. So if you're on second hypervisor, then you go to configure, then you go to storage adapters again, and you go to the green plus sign again, right? And then there is that software iSCSI adapter. When you click the green plus sign, and yes, it's going to add that service, so you're going to press O and K. Hopefully you have scroll down there and you have seen VMHBA65 here as well, and then you have to select VMHBA65 and select targets as well. So hopefully it's not too fast, although yeah, hopefully everyone is okay with that, right? So yeah, it's a good idea to mark where we went. Yeah, so yes, to, and then storage adapters, configure, green plus, and then scroll down to VMHBA65 and then targets. Wow, amazing. So I am threatened by you, Shabina, now. So you're a very good teacher. So you can take over now. Okay, next class is going to be Shabina from now on. I'll also be a student here, right? But still, I will take the checks. So, so the translation for that is please have mercy. But yeah, so there are some who don't know Urdu Hindi, right? So, so okay, there is. Yeah, so guys, hopefully you're all there, and that's why I just requested to slow down. And yes, then we can click add, and iSCSI server, you know which IP to give. So we're gonna give that target IP, which is offering the disks on 3260 port there. So that's just a repetition of what we did, and press OK due to recent configuration. Yeah, and then we rescan. Yay! And yes, it's gonna rescan all 3 disks, and hopefully please, that's something that's a stage where, like, yeah, that's very good to point out all this. Oh, okay, it refreshed, and then we refreshed it, and then we go to storage adapters finally, and MSFT 3 disks. Oh, okay, first of all, yeah, for half a second I was like scared to death, because then the troubleshooting is kind of messy if the disks don't appear there, because then it's a bit longer steps to correct that if IP address was wrong there or something was wrong. So hopefully everyone was able to see the 2 disks there, guys. For today we need at least 1 screenshot. so there will be 2 screenshots now. 1 screenshot for hypervisor 1, 3 MSFT showing. Second screenshot for hypervisor 2, 3 MSFT showing there, right? So screenshot number 1 would be iSCSI disks added to hypervisor 1. That would be the name. So iSCSI disks would be added to hypervisor 1. Wow, the whole screen is shaded now. I think as soon as you put the screen some other hypervisor, it's not showing anything. So I'm just gonna try to, yeah, I'm gonna put it on chat here, that screenshot 1 equals 3 iSCSI disks added to ESXi01 and Control A, Control C. So this is the first screenshot I added in Webex chat. I'm gonna add this to the other chat as well. Screenshot 2 is 3 iSCSI disks added to ESXi2. That's the second screenshot. There you go. So the screenshot is there, and so screenshot 1 is 3 iSCSI disks added to E6i1. Screenshot 2 is 3 iSCSI disks added to E6i2. Yay! Woohoo! Yay! Yippee! So Badr says, when I create new host, I get the license not available. Create new host means you add a new host, Badr, and then it says license not available. Do you see that? Can you share that screenshot there? Where are you exactly seeing this license not available? So I could, and Shabaddin says, can you repeat the last step, E6i2? E6i2 last step, which is refresh, right? Are you asking about refresh or how to connect from VHBA to target and pred so the last step was refresh. So Shabaddin, you can say no refresh. Okay, before that, so before that, so you had to go to VMHBA65 and select VMHBA65 and then select target. So you have to scroll down and select VMHBA65 and then select target. So yeah, we have 65 and then target and then add. Hopefully you know the IP, Shabaddin, then 200.1. Himan says, can you please go to static discovery? There are 2 iSCSI server. Why this is so? So static discovery is that you have a multiple targets and you want to select manually which target you want. Suppose there we selected target 1 and then 20 disks under that, and target 2 had 50 disks under that. So static discovery means that you can manually select from among 3 or 4 targets which one you want. So dynamic discovery is whatever is there, the first one, it will select that. As Neha says, yeah.
But can you please go to the static discovery?
Yeah. So okay. Shabina, there's VMHBS65. We can select that. Yeah. Thank you. And targets and static discovery. So then we can scroll down. Actually, scroll down is very not really showing. So when you click add, okay. Oh yeah, there you go. So
Okay, so from where this second IP address is learning from?
so it's one. I think it's the internet connection that was added there to activate the machine. So it grabbed the two IP addresses of that same machine. So we should be disabling that internet connection for the second IP address on server 1. So second network card's IP address is also showing here. So that's the two. So if we go to, yeah, so yeah, there's internet connection there. So there are two network cards here now. So it detected, if there were 4 network cards, it would have detected 4 IP addresses. Yeah, this one. So we can remove that. Thank you. And then refresh, and it should go now, or it should then refresh there on the, yeah, and yeah, here. And yeah, the refresh rescan button. So we can rescan it, and then it should remove that second IP because that IP is gone now. Yeah, there you go, gone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Sneha is saying I am unable to set to see Microsoft for E6i2. That is not a good. So Neha, can you show on E6 server 1? You can go to server 1 and show that area where 3 disks are showing, right? Can you share that screen? Okay, so Badr has shared a screen, and that screen I'm showing on Webex as well. Oh, actually, you can't see my screen, right? So, but the thing is, you can all see WhatsApp, right? So here on WhatsApp, if you can see Badr's screen, NYDC license not available. License not available? You're kidding me. Hey, not available. Badr, are you able to do anything? Are you able to see the 3 disks? And ask Neha, can you show? Oh, you're not able to see the 3 disks on both hypervisors. This means that you have to install the whole hypervisor and configure it with IP address and everything, a new hypervisor, and then license is not. So this is for which hypervisor? I mean, can you see show a bigger picture? Is it the license not available for NYDC for the whole data center, or it's or for the hypervisors?
For the hypervisors.
For the did you add 2 hypervisors there?
So when I create the first one, when I add the first hypervisor, it shows this message.
Oh, that's not good. So even the evaluation version is not their license. Did you use my shared hypervisors or from somewhere else? Did you download yourself?
No, yours.
Okay, so no one else is having this issue. That's not good. Well, it could be that the hypervisor, you could restart the 2 hypervisors and then try to add them again. And it might go down to that you have to reinstall one hypervisor and add it again, configure it and add it again, and then see if the license is there or not. But
Okay.
so restart, I think that should remove the issues, but hopefully. Okay, so Hemant is just directory, that's done. Sneha is saying E6i2 is not connected. So Sneha, can you share this screenshot on? Oh, there you go. So well, guys, I'll just or maybe we can show that screenshot on. Okay, so I'm seeing that screenshot, but you're not seeing my screen. But 192.168.200.3, 192.168.200.4. Oh, as Neha. So that's 30 samosa thing. So since it's in the WhatsApp already, so you put 198 on the second hypervisor. Sandeep has also seen that. So guys, this will be 30 samosas now, and you can send you can put your address here. She'll be sending to everyone. So guys, I needed to show you some of the, if suppose the IP is wrong, I needed to show you some troubleshooting here. No, we don't have to. Brahim says, do we have to restart? So we don't have to restart server 1 after iSCSI created. It's just okay. So Neha, can you share your screen so I could show everyone the troubleshooting? Oh, because if we made that change on Shabina, if we made that change on your screen, it's gonna be more confusing because we need to create actually a second target now and add the rest of the disk to the second target. So Neha, do you know how to share your screen on Webex? You can just click the share button. So this should be recorded, guys. If it happens in production environment, then you should be able to see that too and troubleshoot. So Neha, can you like click the share button on your screen so we can see that? And Paul is saying 3 already exists on the right hand side under work in progress. Share the pic on WhatsApp. Oh, okay. So this is so guys, now this is a crucial troubleshooting. If it happens by mistake, then what to do, because it's a bit tricky, right? So Neha, go to the first line and right click on top of that. Yeah, the first line and right click on top of that. So guys, this is for everyone how to troubleshoot that. So there is extend, there is disable, there is remove, and there is assign, right? So if we go ahead and click the assign first. Yeah, so assign. Now this target 1 has a one of the hypervisor that has whose IP address is wrong, right? Or something is wrong in this target 1. They don't give us any well, if you click next here can you click next here just once? Yeah, so there is no way to change anything, right? So let's click previous again, and now click the new iSCSI target. So this is a troubleshooting. If in case the IP address is wrong, then only do that. If your IP address is correct, don't do this right now. This is not for everyone, guys. This is not for everyone. If your IP address is wrong here or any mistake here, then you do this. So let's click the new iSCSI target and then click next. And then target 2. You can just type your target 2 because target 1 has some mistake, right? So now target 1 cannot be used. So target 2 and click next. And yes, do have to define now. Now you can correct that. So you can go down to IQN, drop down, and IP address, and then put the correct IP address. Or 50 more samosas are waiting if just okay. And 200.3, yep, okay. And click add again. Yeah. 192. Yeah, you're good. So now next, and so you had to create a new target. We have to do that new target. No, nothing here, and assign. Yeah, but now we have to assign the other 2 disks to the new target. So click close. Yes, so samosa accumulation is so high that we will have mountains of samosas. So okay, so here if Neha, you can go to the second screen, yeah, second line, and right click here and assign. This time target 2, just select target 2, that's all. Up there, yes, and next, and that's it, assign. And that's a good thing that you know, by mistake it happens, but I wanted to show this troubleshooting to you. If it happens in the production environment, you can correct it this way. So, and in the interview, if they ask, that if there was a incorrect target, what do you do? So this is what you do. Write it down somewhere for the interview. So yeah, target 2 is good, and assign. That's good. Close. Now go ahead and select that, and in only server 2. Actually, you have to select it on server 1 and 2 both. So yeah, you can just go through the procedure of targets and just rescan now. Only rescan. Oh, yeah, you can go to the rescan button, which is a very small button. Yeah, that's one. So yeah, rescan and then OK. Oh, actually, yeah, it's it's opening up. There you go. So, but make sure now on the first one as well. Go to the first one and make sure it's and rescan there as well. Even if it's showing rescan again, because now there's new target there. They detect that, and it's on the same IP, so we don't need to add that IP again. It's just on the same IP. Yeah, you're good. I think no, you don't have to do that. So the rescan is already done, or yeah, just go to storage. Yeah, you're good. So it's still detecting there after rescan, so you're good. So this is how it done. Okay, thank you. So yeah, let's go back, guys, and so we're gonna go to Shabina's screen. Thank you, Shabina. And oh, okay. So was there any other issue? No. Okay, guys. So here we need to create. Oh, Paul says, yeah. Yeah, what's not fixed? Paul, do you see under 2 hypervisors 3 disks in both hypervisors? Yeah, I saw that.
So it's still showing. I tried what you just said. Now it's still showing add host. It's not coming up.
I see that picture there. And you don't have 2 hosts? Oh, you have 2 hosts. So what's not working, Paul? Other than this error, is something not working?
Is that error okay? Is that error okay?
No, this error is not okay. But did you add the 2 disks, 3 disks?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Both they are showing clearly.
Yes.
Then you can ignore that error. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, guys, here. Let's go ahead and try to actually create the data stores. Now you have to be more careful about giving the names, because we need data stores which are LAN based data stores or shared disks based data stores. We have data stores on local disks, right? We need to create LAN based data stores. So for that, we're now going to go for storage, which is that gray cylinder on the third one, that gray cylinder. So if the virtual machines need to use those LANs or share disks, then those disks have to be formatted with VMFS file system or VMware file system, VMFS 5, and partitioned with data stores. So we need to create data stores so virtual machines can use that storage, newly added storage now, right? So for that, let's go to expand Tor DC there. And once you expand the Tor DC, so there's one data store already there. Now, anyone knows? Okay, actually, question answer time is very less now. So data store 1 is the local data store, or it is the data store created on the first disk on which we installed hypervisor, right? So this hypervisor is so this data store is local physical disk based data store. We want to avoid that for future virtual machines. So now let's right click on Tor DC. So it's second funny thing is that it is only showing data store 1. It's not showing that whose data store, although we can know whose data store because we added the E6I01 here. There is another way. Sorry, if you can click on the data store again, Shavina. So yeah, data store, and then on the right side you can see the VMs on the way on the end right side. VMs written there on the top. That would be, yeah, this one. So you can see that this data store is, oh sorry, not VM, sorry, host. Yeah. So if you click the data store and then the host, then you can see which host this data store is attached to, right? This is the way to see it. But we will avoid any future use of the local data store for any virtual machines from now on. So let's right click. The only point to see here is the storage only shows data center. It never shows the hypervisors. But if you want to see the hypervisor, you have to select the data store and the host together to see where it exists. So now let's right click on TorDC. Thank you. And let's click, go down to storage. This one. And let's create a new data store inside the TorDC. Yeah, new data store, exactly. So we're going to click new data store, but this time we're not creating the data store on local disk because it's already created there. It's not going to let us. We're going to create that on LUN1, LUN0, LUN1, LUN2, and we need to carefully give those names, right? Very, very carefully. Now you're going to see that because the naming, everything's in the naming. When you're troubleshooting, naming really saves you 50% of the time. Well, okay, 20% of the time. So next, let's click next here. We have the 3 data stores. So first of all, it's saying, okay, what kind of data store you want to create? It's VMFS, obviously, because all the advanced features will be only available on VMFS. So we're going to keep it selected as VMFS and click next. Then you can see now data store is written there, but you can also see that there's a select a host written there, right? So if we drop down that select a host here and actually select the host, which is 200.3, let's select that. As soon as you select the host or whatever name is showing there, now you can see the 3 LUNs attached to that host, LUN0, LUN1, LUN2. So that's a very good thing that we can see the 3 LUNs attached to the host here, right? So we're gonna select LUN0 because we're just going consistently one by one, right? No, we're gonna select LUN0. Oh, okay, back. And yeah, thank you. Not only that we select LUN0, we're gonna name that data store as well, because naming is so we can name it DS. So first of all, serve 0. So I'm gonna just put that name here in the chat as well. SRV, sorry. Let's keep it a simple name. SRV 1, and then DS0, and then LUN0. I'm just putting that name up in the chat now. SRV1, so this means that the target from which the LUNs are coming is SRV1. The name of the target is SRV1 in our case, right? And then DS0 is the data store 0, or the first data store in line according to LUN0. So DS0 created on LUN0. So data store 0 is created on LUN0. So we're just numbering according to LUN number, and also that it's coming from some target named SRV1, which we know by name that, oh, okay, that's number 1. So we can just copy that name, go ahead and copy that name, because we're going to make slight changes to the next 2 data stores after that, right? So yeah, if you've copied that, that's good. So next time we're just going to go for DS1, LUN1, DS2, LUN2, right? So, but that's the naming. So if this is done, then we can click, yeah, exactly. So if this is done, this is click next. Okay, and your Shabina, your cam. Yeah, Shabina, your cam. You can turn off the cam if you want. Oh. Okay, so here VMFS6 and VMFS5. So you can click the VMFS6 and then click next. So VMFS6 and only click next, or if you're seeing that, where to, yeah, where to turn off the.
Sir, I have not started the cam. I don't know what to do with this. Seriously, I mean, 1 minute. I don't know why that started.
Okay, let me just hide somewhere if my cam does not open.
Okay.
So yeah, you can close the session, unshare it, and then turn off the, yeah, there you go, got it, right? Okay, because okay, so but there's yeah. Okay guys, so here VMFS6 is selected, and okay, so yeah, so we can just go ahead and oh no, not 5, 6, and next, and then you can see the data store information there, that use all available partitions. We can partition it as well. We can just make it like half of the partition data store, and then we can expand it as well. But we want to give it a full one data store on one LUN, but you can make it even half now, and you can expand it later. Suppose it's 300 GB, and you say that, okay, I'm going to put 200 GB here now, and later 100 GB whenever I want to expand that data store up to the full LUN size there, then I can do that too. So right now, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we can give that too, but yeah, let's give it full 299. Yeah, 299. So because it's 300 GB size, right? So yeah, 299 is okay, or if you remember that, that's very good. And then block size 1 MB, space reclamation granularity. So that is also, you can put the block size as 512 as well. So it's going to keep lesser area, lesser data, or bigger area, more data could be kept there. So when it is retrieved, it is more data retrieved within the blocks, right? So it's just about the speed, and the default size is normally always good unless you want to go advanced on that. And space reclamation granularity and space reclamation priority, deleted or unmapped blocks are reclaimed on the LUN at low priority. So this is just reclaiming those blocks which have no data, or when you did the formatting, so all data was gone from there or deleted. So in that case, you want to reclaim that space. So this is that granularity, which is just okay. It's just saying that how fast you want to reclaim deleted area or unclaimed area. So suppose the data was deleted from there, so you need to claim that back, that okay, now I'm gonna use it for some other data, so you can do that too. So default options are okay for all this, and then click next, and that's it. Let's click finito. And what happens is that the good thing is that this same data store will appear in the second hypervisor as well. Anyone knows why? So if you expand the NIDC, it's going to appear there as well. We don't need to create this same data store on the other side. It's just there. Why? Anyone knows? Why it automatically appeared there?
Only that because on the same network.
Because it's the same LUN attached to both hypervisors. It's the same LUN attached to both hypervisors, right? Let's quickly create the two data stores, and then we can just, So this time, how about we go to the other data center, NYDC, and right click there. And the same procedure now. We go to storage, we go to new data store, and we go to next. And VMFS, we can click that. So that's the same thing that we did before, and it's just the naming convention. If any says I have two data stores, one is type 5, another is type 6. So this means that type 5 data store, when we were creating that data store before, well, type 5 is by mistake selected, I guess. You can delete type 5 and
no. Actually, when we went to Tor DC, you saw data store 1 on your own part. I didn't see it on mine, so I followed the steps on creating SRV1 DSLUN0. I created that. So when I created that, I refreshed. Then I went back to Tor DC. I now saw I didn't see any data store there. So I went to storage, then clicked on data store. Then I now see two. I see SRV1 DSO LUN0 and data store 1. It's telling me status normal, type 5, and the other one type 6.
So data store 1 is a local data store. So we can actually ignore that because that's a local one. But type 5 and 6, I need to check that too. So if you can put a screenshot there, then we can check it out after we are done with the 2 data stores. Let's finish the other 2 data stores and then we can check out the screenshot as well. Cool. Okay guys, here, so the SRV1 but DS1, and DS1, yeah, and LUN1, but yeah, LUN1, exactly. So that's the only change here, and we have to select the host, whatever host data center 2 has, and we can see that LUN1 and 2 are only available because data store has been created on LUN0 already. So we can select LUN1 now, and that's how we gave the name as well, SRV1 DS1 LUN1. So now we are creating data store on NYDC. Yes, Jagwant,
It should be SRV2 now, sir.
Sorry?
Should be SRV2, right?
No, it's not gonna be SRV2. Why it's SRV2? Guys, why would it not be SRV2? Anyone knows? Why will it not be SRV2? We don't have... Target was created only on SRV1, right? Target was only created on SRV1, not on 2. Exactly. So that's why we cannot have SRV2 because this is a target name, server 1's name. So, okay, SRV1, but DS1, data store is the next one, and LUN1 also we're using, right? So that's why we're changing that, but SRV1 will not change. So if that, hopefully we understand that, and select one and next. Yes, it's coming from the same server. Second disk is also coming from the same server. So VMFS6, oh, that's where VMS 5 and 6 are there, right? So by mistake, you know, if the 5 was selected, so it has to be 6 and next. So no change here. And yeah, no change here as well. We talked about it. And finish. And then we can create. So why we went for NYDC? Because it doesn't matter whichever data center you create the data store on, it will appear on both later, right? So if you refresh, it's gonna appear on both. Refresh is on the browser based, or there's a beside that launch vSphere client HTML5 refresh is there as well. There you go. It's appeared there. So you can create from NYDC or TorDC. It will appear on both. That's the point here. So we can go back to TorDC. So wherever you create, it will appear on both. So it doesn't matter which one are you creating. So right click on TorDC and let's create the third one as well. Yeah, so now we know the drill here. New data store, and yeah. So next, VMFS, and we just give that name. SRV1 will remain SRV1 because the third disk is also living on server 1, but it's now going to be DS2 and LUN2, and that's the only one remaining where the data store has not been mapped, right? So that's it. We select that name, we click that. So we're just giving some intelligent naming there. So when we see here there in the environment, maybe 200 data stores you've created there, so you would know which target, which data store, which LUN, right? Which target, which data store, which LUN. So we can keep on seeing that. So yeah, okay. So guys, if you see the 3 data stores in NYDC and TorDC, that's your third screenshot for today. That 3 LUN based data stores created. So screenshot name I'm gonna put here, screenshot 3. 3 LUN based data stores created. 3 LUN based data stores created. Because if it's LUN based, so this means that it's gonna appear on both hypervisors. Or if there were 200 hypervisors, it would appear automatically on all 200 hypervisors, because you would attach the one LUN to all 200 hypervisors. So if you create a data store on top of that one LUN, obviously it's going to appear automatically on all 200 hypervisors. Well, if you have taken that screenshot and screenshot name is also appearing there, I'll just put that screenshot 3 name here. So now guys, do not rush at this time. You have to make sure that you're suspending your server 1, 2, so 1 and 2, just suspend them, power and suspend. So you have to make sure that you don't shut it down, you only suspend this one. So server 1 we're gonna suspend, and then server 2 we're gonna suspend. E6i1, E6i2 you can suspend as well, or you can shut down, it's up to you. But server 2 specially need to be suspended, not shut down, right? So suspend server 2. If you have a lot of space, then go for suspend E6i1, E6i2. Normally suspension takes more space, but it easily lets you start. So yeah, even E6i1, E6i2 you can go ahead and suspend. And so today we just added the 2 hosts. We created the whole software SAN, and then we were able to attach that, and then we were able to create the data stores as well on top of that. So that's where we reached. So now hopefully next class we will not have issues of Vcenter, but if there are, obviously we are here to help each other, so don't worry about that, because Vcenter is a beast. It's a big software. It will give issues. That's what we're here to learn, right? So thank you, Shabina, for sharing that screen, and I'll be sharing my screen now, and I'll be uploading that
So now in the both the DCs, it should show all the 3 data storage, right?
on both DCs, all 3 storage should be shown exactly, yes.
But for me in Toronto DC, it's not showing.
Refresh.
Yeah, I tried many.
Can you check your three MSFT disks in the storage area? Are they there? If the LUNs are there, the data stores will be there. If the LUNs are not there, or the server 1 went down, or E6i1 or 2 went down, then this would happen. That one of the machine went down. Oh, actually, did you just suspend any machine just now?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So all 4 machines are up?
Yeah, all 4 machines. Yeah, all 4 machines are up.
Confirm if E6i1 has.
Yeah, it is up. Yeah, it is up.
Yeah, E6i1 has 3 MSFT disks showing after rescan. Can you confirm that?
Sir, target 1 is the same as target 2.
Target 2 was created only for I think I connected to somebody's machine, Neha's machine. We all don't need to create target 2.
So target 1 is the server 01.
Target 2 was one of the student had issue, and only for her target 2 was created. None of us else have to create target 2 unless you had error or mistake in target 1. Only then we create target 2.
Sir, for me I couldn't install the data stores because it's, I don't know, it's still giving me that error. So I guess the error didn't allow the disks to show up.
No, so what were you not able to do, Paul?
So going to the storage and trying to add what's it called? Data store. So going to the next page, it didn't populate the storage, the hard disk that we created, all the hard disk that we created. It didn't populate it.
Okay.
After selecting the host, it didn't populate the hard disk.
Okay, let me then. So you can share your screen, guys. I'm just uploading that. Let me just create that in Blackboard, and so everyone, those who are done, can upload the screenshots, and then let's check it out. So I'll just go for I'll quickly create that Humber record here. If any week 7 there was no class, I'm gonna still create that. So guys, this is week 8 because we didn't have a week 7 class. And well, guys, those who showed the screenshot of errors, or you were not able to do the lab, so ignore this timing for those. If your labs were okay and you're uploading today, so this is then for only those. Hey guys, go ahead and upload those who are done. And now I'm gonna connect to wherever the issues are. So Paul has.
So after suspending the host, how do we gonna log into the server? Because I'm not getting any options here.
So right click and there's a suspend here, this one. And when you right click, so we can just power on simply. So when it is suspended, so resume guest, this one.
I'm not getting this
Is
option.
it suspended successfully already? Like this? Or is it suspending right now?
It's a complete black screen for me.
Black means it's suspending right now. When it is fully suspended, then right click and then it will show you power resume guest. So let it suspend first fully.
So I'm using actually an external hard disk. So would that make any difference?
Slow suspension down a lot. So it's just slow right now.
Okay, I mean, if next time I connect the hard disk again, so would that my VM work, or I mean?
You can resume. Well, you've been doing that before as well, right? For today's lab, also you connected first, right?
I'm asking regarding the Vcenter server, so powering on and then
just
login.
resume. So just like you shut down and then you start it from external drive, so suspend also works the same way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so where was I? So okay, I'll stop the video and